know, they think that I just come in there and look for knockouts, and that's not the case. I'm actually a sharp, smart fighter.
So, well, wait, I'm here. Who want to fight with me?
I really don't care who's in front of me. I don't feel like no fighter can beat me.
My goal is to demolish everybody, to be honest. Everybody that's in my way. The pinnacle to any weight division is to have all the belts, all of the titles.
Welcome to Bodywork. Welcome back. It's Michael Rogers. Welcome to Bodywork Boxing. It feels so good to be back. Oh man, I hope everybody having a wonderful evening this evening. You hear the sound of my voice, that means that you're still here. That you're with us. You know what I'm saying? Cookie Monster. Salute the Cookie Monster. Bodywork. Okay. New intro. Fire. I'm trying to do something different. I'm trying to keep the proverbial juices flowing. Mic check. Sounding crystal clear. That's what I like to hear, my dear. But you know, boxing, man, it has its rough times, man, and I'm just trying to come up with some things, man, to kind of encompass how I be feeling about boxing, because it'll make you want to walk away from it, man. Boxing is so weird, man. But only thing came to mind is this parable about the miner. Salute to Richard Hill. Two miners dug side by side. One quit because all he found was dirt. The other smiled because he knew something the first miner didn't know. You only find gold by digging through dirt. Oh man, the dirt was evidence that there wasn't gold. It was evidence that he was getting closer. Every boxing era got its dirt, its politics, its bad scorecards, mismatches. Shit, frustrating negotiations. We just went through that. But if all we focus on is the dirt, we gonna miss the gold that's developing underneath. And tonight isn't about the stars everybody already knows, right? It's about the fighters quietly digging towards greatness. The dark horses that could change their divisions. You know, so that's just a little something the way, you know, I always say boxing, man, and especially being a hardcore, it's almost like in a relationship. You got to find ways to keep the juices flowing. Keep the honey on the moon. You know, stay engaged, stay entertained, stay focused. Don't get distracted to make it work. And the powers that be are kind of making it hard because they push certain things. And since they have control to the interviews and all that, they kind of mold things. They have, remember I always say, he who controls the printed page controls the thinking of this age. And they're doing a great job at shaping and molding our minds. So we're going to talk a little bit about that in the housekeeping as we open up, man. But I just wanted to talk about the dark horses. Maybe you got a dark horse in boxing that nobody's really thinking about. You know what I'm saying? Somebody that's not in under the big bright lights, somebody that's not associated with being the face of boxing or the face of YouTube boxing or whatever face. You know, I wanted to stay away from that. I think that's really starting to run its course. I think it's pretty much ran its course. We all know who the faces of boxing are, right? But let's look up under the rocks. Let's look at the guys, some underlying guys. Like, think about it. It might not be the 4 guys I mentioned. I just went from lightweight to junior middleweight, right? To try to spark a conversation, to try to get you to be like, okay, I never thought about it like that. Let me look at this guy. Let me talk about this. So I got 4 that I brought up, and maybe there are some other ones. Now, if somebody else transitions to this weight class at 135, he would definitely be my dark horse. He hasn't transitioned yet, but you know, that's what the focus of it is, man. So we can have some fun. You know, I'm getting burnt out from the same old thing, man. Everybody just, man, it's refried beans all over the place. You know, I mean, I'm getting tired of it. So I figure, hey, man, let's be optimistic in our approach. Let's get these juices flowing. Let's have a conversation centered around some guys that might not get the spotlight that they deserve. And they might not be world beaters in your eyes. I'm just putting something out here, you know what I'm saying, the sparks to prickle your mind, because this channel is not memorization and regurgitation. It's not, oh, I'm first, I'm gonna say something about this. So no, it's not about that. It's about the longevity and the preservation of boxing, right? In an era where it's all toxic. So that's my job. That's my goal. So with no further ado, I'm going to get into the housekeeping. Number 1, Pitbull and Nestor Bravo. You know, and 140 is my division, y'all. So that's why I tend to talk about, my focus really be on, you know, 140 division, because I call it the row. I believe it's the most competitive division in boxing. And you know, second, I think a close second is 154. It's just in both of those divisions, people really not fighting each other. So let me show y'all this real quick. Cause Pitbull is a major player in the game, you know. I think AC called him a thotty. He called him a thotty the other day, but that thotty, man, don't got a lot of miles on it. It got some miles on it, but that thotty is alright, man. That thotty is a definitely more than just a gatekeeper. Also is the interim to the WBC, which is very, very interesting, because we got a fight coming up in a couple months. Pretty soon, with Dalton Smith defending his championship against Alberto Cuello. So this the first one. Isaac Pitbull Cruz returns to the ring for a September title defense. So that's next month, y'all. And they got a picture. Credit to Mark Robinson from Matchroom Boxing. Got an image of little Pitbull with no neck, man. That's why people can't knock him out, man. He got one of the strongest paws, no necks. You know, strongest neck / no neck. I call him, like, his name should be the Juggernaut, because he built like, look at his head. He look like a little juggernaut, don't he? Well, I like Pitbull, man. He always gonna come to fight. Might not be my style of boxing, but man, Pitbull gonna put in a good fight. He gonna perform. We saw him on the back foot last time out against Lamont Roach, doing something on the back foot, dancing a little bit, you know. So he's little nuances he's trying to add, but he's really all action type fighter, man. He gonna swing. He got that. He's a litmus test for anybody, because he does have that armadillo style that I say every boxer needs to go against to see if you really got the goods, because it's discouraging when you hit somebody in the chin with one of your best shots and they just eat it. You know what I'm saying? They keep coming like Michael Myers, and that's Pitbull. That Maidana-esque. I think Kevin Saggio had it, because My man Diego Pacheco had to face that style. So it's a couple guys that got that armadillo style, man, that'll make you look real bad or knock you out. Because he did clip Rolly. Remember that, y'all. But 9 months after his last fight, Isaac Pitbull Cruz steps back into the ring to defend his interim WBC super lightweight title. Cruz, 28, 3-2, 18 knockouts, was last seen in December 2025 when he fought to a 12-round draw with Lamont Roach Jr. to retain the belt he won less than 5 months earlier. Now, the 28-year-old Mexico City native looks to earn his first victory as interim champion when he faces Nestor Bravo on Saturday, September 19th in San Diego, California. I've never been to San Diego. I've been all across the world, man. Even in every state. Got a shot glass from every state. Never stopped in San Diego. I heard it's a wonderful, beautiful place. I knew somebody from San Diego though. I'm extremely motivated. So I bet you that's going to be a wonderful atmosphere. I'm extremely motivated to return to the ring on September 19th, Cruz said. I know that Bravo is very hungry and hoping to pull off the upset. But I also have a very clear goal, to keep proving that I belong among the elite. And we do say that word elite, it gets used a little bit too much. It's only a handful. I'm talking about a handful, like 5 or 6 like guys that's really, really elite right now. Because they've shown it, they've proven it. You know, contrary to what media say or whatever, it's only like a handful. So it got the little ad right there, Nestor Bravo. And it says, plus interim WBC middleweight champ, Jesus Ramos. Jesus Ramos is one of them guys that actually grew on me, man. I like Jesus Ramos. I wish he wouldn't have moved up. Because I thought, I seen a couple guys at 54 that he could have gave problems to. A couple guys. But he's also on there. Battles mandatory challenger, Miram. Bravo is he's 24-1 with 17 knockouts. Suffered his first defeat in March of 2025 when he lost by split decision to Indogeni. Indogeni got stopped by my guy Tito Mercado, and I'm gonna digress. But the 32-year-old from Puerto Rico bounced back in the next fight, scoring a knockout victory over Pedro Campa in Brooklyn in January. Yeah, I remember Pedro Campa was the first guy after Teofimo Lopez fought Josh Taylor, and he got that stoppage, you know what I'm saying, against Pedro Campa. It was late, you know, but it was an overwhelming type thing. So if you wonder who Pedro Campa is, he done bounced back, but then he got sparked. That could have been one of the knockouts of the year when Nestor Bravo bounced back. Now, Bravo looks to continue his winning ways this time with a title on Z-Line. September 19th is going to be a classic Puerto Rico versus Mexico showdown. Y'all know that's always good, man, when you get them two against each other. So it's going to be lit. Bravo said, I'm very grateful to my team and everyone who made this incredible event possible. I'm facing a tough, aggressive fighter who comes forward and likes to engage. But I have all the skills and versatility to win by any means. Right there on the fight, now Puerto Rico will have a new champion, interim champ. In addition to Cruz versus Bravo, another fight has been announced on the card as interim WBC middleweight champion Jesus Mono Ramos Jr. would take on mandatory challenger Miram Nursultanov in the co-main event. That's good, even though I don't know Sir Nurse Sultanov. I don't know him, but I gotta do my homework. Further bouts will be announced, so they're gonna still stack the card. It's still much more. Watch, and that's the advertisement for the guy right here, 21 years old, getting ready to take on Herkovich, man, to try to get that strap. He's gonna be the youngest heavyweight champ if he were to get it, next to Mike Tyson. So they got their little ad for that on the 29th. So we gotta look. We can look forward to Pitbull Cruz staying active, getting back in the ring. He's a definitely exciting little fighter. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, all the time it's going to be. It's always a good one when you get Mexico versus Puerto Rico. And I got my man AC is in the building. What's going on with you, AC?
Man, everything is good, bro. I just I was just caught up in trying to end a political show because I co-host a political show as well, and it just ran a little bit late because we were covering some topics in depth and things like that. But yeah, I'm here, man. I'm ready to get this boxing conversation going, bro. And yeah, the Dark Horse Project. I'm with that.
Yeah, I just went through number one on the housekeeping, but glad you would come on board. I didn't know if you was gonna sit this one out. I was just gonna rock it out, but just 300 be needing something, you know what I'm saying? So I was like, I ain't gonna let y'all
Yeah,
down because if I walk away sometime it's just like when you be working out, when you miss one day turn to 2 days, 2 days turn to 3 days, and then next thing you know, you're like, I gotta get back. So I'm like, no, I gotta be just like I've been hitting that workout every day. I'm like, I gotta stay on schedule because we only come on every other day. So it's like at least I could do is just keep it going with that. So, I didn't want to walk away. I wanted to give the 300 something that they could chew on. But I'm going on to the second one now.
all right.
Hitmen play devil advocate now. So I'm asking a question. Do hitmen play the devil advocate? Like, it's so weird. And y'all probably like, what are you talking about, Mike? If you listen, I'm gonna tell you, right? Look, man, this is starting to become a thorn in my side, and I'm still gonna use the touch and go approach. I'm only gonna touch on it and then I'm gonna go. But this guy right here, this is what I mean. And I'm really not trying to give these guys like no attention for real, but like, remember in my intro, I spoke to something about these guys, and this is Whack Max Kellerman. He's one of the media hitmen. And just for shits and giggles, let's show you the other hitman. This is another hitman right here. And this is the last hitman. There's one more hitman that I don't really be showing, but I haven't came up with one for him yet. I really just seriously thought about it today, but I'm like, yeah, he's a hitman too. But that's the other hitman. But this guy right here, man, this dude really be like, I be trying not to let him trigger me, and I think that's what he's there for. So because I realize that that's what he's there for, it's like, okay, I'll be your Huckleberry. I'll entertain what you saying. But what I'm getting at, y'all, is I sat here and I witnessed Tim Bradley, and I respect Tim Bradley. Me and AC, we saw Tim Bradley. I think he was in the Pro Box chat, and we was like talking to Tim. We said, hey man, we respect you for your Hall of Fame. It don't have nothing to do with your accomplishments or your achievements. We fully respect Tim Bradley. It's not, he got in the ring, he got hit in the head for a living, he made millions of dollars, he was successful, he had the fireman speech with one of my favorite guys in Teddy Atlas. It's not a lot like career wise, like it's always some flies in the ointment, and I'm not even gonna nitpick with him. But with Tim Bradley, man, now that he actually has his own voice, he has his own platform, it's disturbing to me. Sometimes he's brilliant, other times it's like 50-50. You flip a coin, heads or tails. Like, you could flip a coin today and then flip a coin tomorrow, and if it's heads today, heads tomorrow. That's how he's going to be. He's bipolar in a sense. And I respect him because he does have command of, he has experience. So he has a command of the information, some of the technical things and all that, but he definitely has his favorites. And Tim Bradley spent the better part of like a month and a half just yapping off at his mouth, right? Talking about Keyshawn Davis this and Keyshawn. I'm like, dude, the things that you be pushing, it's like, I said this before, a lot of the time the fans be more enthused and more confident than the actual fighter. And I'm like, listen, man, don't take my word for it. I'm not the devil's advocate. For the sake of conversation, I'll say, you know what? If I wanted to oppose myself, this is what I'll do, and I'll tackle my own argument to try to weed out any kind of rebuttals. I'll do that. But I never found solace in being a devil's advocate. Long story short, Tim Bradley was on this rampage talking about Keyshawn Davis this and Keyshawn Davis that, and all the things that I said. Just like when I was talking about Virgil, and I'm like, why did, before the unification that Boots had, I said, why are they pursuing Virgil? I was like, man, we saw him lose the Bulge. All those talking points, everybody ignored it. And, oh, man, because their fighter wanted it. It's the same thing with Keyshawn, because Keyshawn wanted it, and he was saying it, he was advertising it. Tim Bradley was gawk, gawk, gawk. Eggplant, bratwurst, foot-long, quarter pounder, beanie weenies, Polish sausage, you name it. No fruits, no veggies, just eggplant. He was all over it. I'm like, listen, man, we got to look at his actions, bro. We got to sit down and look at, but he was all, because that's one of his guys next to Shakur. And we see all the eggplant eating that happens with Shakur. But he was all ahead. So now, this is what they do. This is what, y'all know when I be telling y'all, hindsight is 2020. This is what they do. Like in real time, all of them, Ness, Tim Bradley, Fanon, and I like these guys. I respect these guys because of what they do. But all of these guys, they do the same thing. They will know damn well that what they saying in the current time ain't, ain't right and exact, but to cater to the masses, to cater to the people that their audience, which I don't realize why y'all don't have to do that. Y'all are brilliant in your own right. You don't have to do that. Only to, after the fact, come out and be hindsight of 2020s. But most of the time, they know in real time that what they doing. Coach Malachi, he's another one. They know in real time that what they doing and what they saying, they ain't about being shit on certain topics and certain fighters. They know that in real time that they pushing some bullshit. Only to come around, but I didn't know. And that's what Tim Bradley doing. He's out here campaigning, talking about, Quack Sean is the biggest duck. And I agree with him. Quack Sean is the biggest duck out here. The biggest duck in history. I don't know about all that's kind of extreme. In history, know. We've seen some more egregious. I'm not even going to get into that. I'm proud of Tim for making a stance, but I'm like, we got to slow down. That's what I'll be trying to say. We be giving these guys the benefit of the doubt. These fighters, we give them the benefit of the doubt. Then there are fighters that have done and shown and proved, but they never get the benefit of the doubt. They never get the benefit of the doubt. But these guys, these flash in the pan guys, these guys, just because you like their personality, you like a little bit of what they done, they haven't accomplished like a 10th of what some of the other guys have accomplished yet. They get put right, like Keyshawn getting put right behind Shakur as being the best. How, Sway? At least Shakur got 4 divisions and all that. We don't like his ways. Yeah, he's Twitterson. Yeah, he's, I call him, what I've been calling him? Shaquack. So we got Quack Sean and Shaquack, I've been calling them. The twat bros. We don't like their moves. We respect what they done in the ring, but for Keyshawn to be put in the position to where he's like lock in step with what Shakur is doing, that was crazy from the jump. And Shakur already showed that he's a crash out, that he's not reliable, he's not dependable, he's a live wire. When you can get him to a fight, get him make weight, get him into a fight, something that's meaningful, you actually get his ass in the ring. He going to scrap. That's one thing. He's going to scrap. He do good body work. We don't know how his chin is, you know what I'm saying? It's too much controversy, too much rocky road. He's had more turbulence than Tank had in his early risings. He had more turbulence than David Benavidez in his early risings. But we know that Dave went on to accomplish great things. I think that's what people see in Keyshawn, because they're like, look, and if you get yourself, your act right, because both of them, they miss weight, Tank and David Benavidez, right? But they went on to become killers. If you get your act right, the path for greatness is there. But you got to make that transition, and some of us are not going to give you the benefit of the doubt. Why? Because we got trust issues. So I agree with Tim Bradley saying that this man is a duck. But guess what? Max Kellerman came out, let me play devil's advocate. And he gave this whack-ass analogy, and just to bring up Al Heyman, like the shit on Al Heyman. Oh, yeah, he was talking about, I think he used Paul Williams. No, he used Vernon Forrest at the time. when he was looking for a fight, he had made that much, and he was looking for a fight, and he was gonna fight Shane Mosley. And he was like, no, he's like, do you know who he was advised by? He was advised by Al Heyman, and he said no. But you know what happened? He wound up getting the fight, beating him, and he got more money. I'm like, that's the wackest example. For one, it was for $1 million. He wound up getting more money, but he was turning down $1 million, and he wound up getting more money. Okay, that's history. That's actually what happened. That don't make no sense to somebody that got offered $3 million and turned it down. And then the stopgap, it's almost like an investment. If you look online and you see your investment and you've been tracking, and you're like, oh, okay, I'm tracking, man. Right now, I'm in the green for 3. And you're like, okay, well, I see a downturn, and you see that spike going down, right? And then it go to 2.1. You're gonna stop and say, hold on, man, I'm gonna cash out. Hold on, I'm gonna save this right here at 2.1 and roll with it. Y'all was gambling, but look, I thought that 3 might have went up to 3.5. It didn't. And everything, all the market indicators was going to tell you that purse bids, they're not for people that's going to bid the highest bid, like Devin Haney and his dumbass fans was saying, oh man, it's the second highest purse bid. That's a dumbass business strategy. These people don't have no clue about business. People don't bid high on purse bids. They bid low. Why? So that if they get it and they can actually win it, they can actually turn a huge profit. That's why I said that purse bids, when I came up with this, purse bids are not a victory. Unless fans get the fight, it's not a victory. So Max is sitting up here playing devil's advocate, and then Shady McCoy, which hurts my heart because he's one of my favorite running backs because I'm an Eagle fan, it's tatted on my shoulder. But he don't know shit about boxing. Respectfully. He just up there to be sensational, to hate on Tank whenever his name come up, and to praise whatever other guy. He like praising the other guys. He love all the others. You know what I'm saying? That's what he do. But they both playing devil's advocate. They both saying, no, it's not a duck. How is it not a duck? You got moved up to the #1 spot. And you didn't have a championship title at the division below. You had a championship title 2 divisions below. And you blew it on the scales. You had Abdullah Mason have to step in the day. You blew, when you blew it against De Los Santos. You were going to try to force De Los Santos to get in there and try to weight bully him. Then you damn near missed weight after the Jermaine Ortiz fight. You stopped him to the body late, which was good. Kudos for that. You got back in there in the fight that nobody wanted to see. Nobody wanted to see that fight. And they brought up Devin Norman, talking about when nobody wants to see that. They got right up there. That's why I be trying to say that's the Mike Cap. I don't have a thumbnail for the Hitman. They already Ness, all of them. Oh, nobody want to see that Brian Norman. I'm like, well, Brian Norman want the rematch. Why can't we see it? Now he got to go do something special. He got to go through the eye of a needle just to get a rematch. I'm like, where is boxing at? If the man say he want a rematch, he afforded Devin an opportunity. He didn't have to do that. But now he got to go do something special. Nobody wants that. And so they were trying to basically revisit. I was like, man, that Keyshawn shit is over. It was a very bad look, and they got Devin in the mess hall with the chest out. Yes, he was exonerated for the Keyshawn fight. Yes, they were playing chicken. Devin won. Kudos for him for not dropping that strap. Him and Bill for standing 10 toes and doing what they need to do to push forward. So in that vein, right, they was right and exact. You can't do nothing but praise Devin for that. But that's where it stops. Because what AC always says, how do we get there? How do we get there? Oh, the slander against Ryan and ducking that fight. The slander against Rolly and ducking that fight. The saying, oh man, this guy actually grew some balls. We might actually fight. When Tank was what gave you the highest payday of your life, you turned it down. So that's 3 ducks in a row, and you get to Keyshawn and he wet the bed, and now you in the mess hall with your chest out, looking for a Liam Paro. Richards and Hitchens left, and they say you shouldn't even fight Richards and Hitchens. I'm like, man, where is boxing at? Like, Richards and Hitchens, he's the undefeated guy. Richards and Hitchens beat Liam Paro, but Richards and Hitchens ain't worthy, and Liam Paro is. But they got some kind of false confidence because Devin Haney supposedly broke his orbital bone or did something to his eye in sparring. But Max Kellerman was tooth and nail. I said, ain't this crazy? You got a Hall of Famer and Tim Bradley debating. And I know they do this just to get a reaction like this out of me. But he's debating with him, playing devil's advocate that maybe Keyshawn was right because he can get more money. I'm like, what? Bobby already came out and said, man, they don't owe him a fight till next year and he's probably going to get shelved. What are y'all talking about? But you know what's interesting? I've never heard Max Kellerman in no situation ever play devil's advocate for Tank, no matter what. And he's proven. He's beaten more champions than Devin and Shakur and Keyshawn. Damn near put together. He don't get no respect. Always having a disadvantage. I've never heard him play the devil's advocate for Tank. Never. But he's a hitman. And they do this just to stir it up. But like it's crazy that, yeah, I be going at it with Tim, but I go at it with Tim about the things that he say. Just like he said, oh, I got boots. And then right before the fight, man, fuck it, I got Xander. And then come back, man, I told no, man, you can't flip-flop like that. And people say, I ain't never seen Tim Bradley flip-flop. Because I was saying that's why Ness like what Tim Bradley was saying, because they both be doing that flip-flop and shit. They play naive, they play dumb, they play stupid the whole time, pushing these things to get the likes, clicks, and views. In hindsight, they be like, oh man, well, I didn't know. Nobody knew. You knew. And you know what you're doing. But that's how I know that. I noticed that the people that with the biggest numbers, they flip and they flop like pancakes. But it's crazy that, man, that shit this ain't even up for debate. They were still asking, like Ness and them did a whole show about whether or not Keyshawn was a duck. I said the title of the show should be Is Water Wet? Is the sun hot? This shit is just dumb, man. They got platforms and people that watch and view, and it's like this shit is going into WWE. We love and praise the storyline behind some of this shit so much that we get so far away from actually getting the fights that you're still pushing this on. After that shit, after Keyshawn said no, everybody should have came out, did their piece talking about this man is a duck, and then we should have moved on. It's not trivial. It's a big ass duck. It's not up for debate. But Max playing devil's advocate just to stir the pot, man. It's just dumb, man. And Tim Bradley was the only one standing tall. But I notice how they don't have people like, they don't have Gabe Rosado recycling back on there. They don't have Malik Scott recycling back on there. Why? Because they were both boxers. Gabe Rosado has done some commentary, but Gabe Rosado has a very nice resume. He might not have won the big fights, but he's been in the ring with a lot of people. Malik Scott, he was a decent fighter, right? He went on to be a coach, but they both know. And I noticed that those guys, the ones that got kicked back and have some kind of this kind of solving in the things that they say, they don't have them back all the time. They always had the people with the shenanigans on there all the time. Why? Because controversy and stirring the pot, that's what sells. That's what pushed the envelope. It don't have shit to do with real boxing and shit that's gonna get us down to getting real fights. Real talk by Honeybee. Salute, Bodywork. Yeah, I sent you the email. Senior Squeaky. I guess you a comedian? Senior Squeaky? Cause I wouldn't quit my day job if I was you, brother. I don't know what the hell you talking about. So I guess hitman can play devil's advocate. I guess a hitman, right? They'll sneak into the house, right? They'll have you dead, right? You'll be sleeping on your pillow, slobbering, hacking Z's, right? All in the fetal position, right? And they'll sit there and be like, you know what? Should I do it? Well, let me see. If I was him, what would I like? No, hitman, no. Hitmen don't play devil's advocate, man. Just do your little hit piece, right? And then move on with the bullshit, man. We can see through it. Most of us can anyway. And the people that indulge in it, they choose to. Ignorance is bliss. So they have blissful, ignorantly conversations or whatever. That's the second one. Number 3, hang in there, Shock. Hang in there, Shock. Oshaki, I've been waiting for some news to drop, man, because I've been really trying to peg where Oshaki is at in the whole conversation with him and Vancado Navarrete, and there's no news. So hopefully it's quiet. They don't do a lot of public negotiation. So the fact that Oshaki is quiet right now, it's kind of cool. It's kind of a good sign to me, right? Because he's not gonna be out there all blah 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 rah rah rah, and I'm Twitter gangster, and I'm X-Man and all. He's not gonna do all of that. He's a professional. So I like that. But there was a small exchange here, and this just further shows like how Shaquack, how he gets down. Let me show you this real quick. Let me show y'all this. On Monday, Foster alleged that Stevenson is scared to face him, to which the latter dismissed the Texas native by warning with a laugh. Little 130-pounder, mind your 130-pound business. Considering their past as former sparring partners, a Stevenson versus Foster fight would be ultra personal. At this point in time, I'm realizing that Shakur is just saying any and everything to keep himself relevant. Why? Because he signed his life away to Zuffa Island, the Isle of Zuffa Monroe, as AC calls it. And this was really an exchange. I just clipped a part of it because this was an exchange because Lamont Roach, who he had put in his application for, the Battle Buddy system over there, the BFF Friends and Family Network that Shakur got going on with everybody, damn near everybody in boxing. And I think his application got, I think it initially got approved, but upon further examination, I'm thinking they're kicking him out the whip. And so Oshaki was saying some stuff, with Shakur. He was like, man, this dude just scared. So now here we got Shaquack up here talking about your little 130-pounder, mind your little 130-pound business. So this is why I say, man, these guys, man, they don't be thinking before they be tweeting. So if that's the case, right, we got a 140-pounder, right, who went to a Zuffa Island where they only have 135 and they only have 147. So they only have lightweight and welterweight. They don't even have a 140. Quacking about a 144. He the one started the 144 shit. So we got him over there who he's got a belt at 140 in a traditional sanctioning body in the WBO, goes to an island where there's only a lightweight and a welterweight, and he's telling Oshaki, because he's at 130, who Oshaki has fought at 140 before. He's come outside of the division. So it just shows his ignorance, right? But if that's the case, then you need to pick a division, Shakur, which would be 135 or 147, right? And then you need to mind your business at that division, because it makes no sense. And with this one, it says considering their past as former sparring partners, a Stevenson versus Foster fight would be ultra personal. And I think that's one of the reasons why Shakur don't really want that fight, because there will be aggression there. He disrespected Oshak, and Oshak stood on business. His character been impeccable, right? And after all that lying, Shakur wound up going on an interview and saying, yeah, he did get the best of me at that time, but this what happened. My girlfriend was blah, blah. All this bullshit, right? After lying on the man all that time, he finally come out and tell the truth. But people didn't give Oshaki the benefit of the doubt. I did, because I started looking at his character, and he had to earn that, just like a lot of the guys. I don't just give people the benefit of the doubt. But with Oshaki, he got character, so he got the benefit of the doubt. And I was like, yeah, this dude's solid. He remind me a lot of myself and how he moved. So I'm like, yeah, I rock with how he moved. He seems solid. Haven't seen any flaw in this man's character at all. And the way he handled things, he ain't even extra like that. But here we go once again, Shakur. So Quackshawn and Shaquack, they are the gifts that keep on giving. That's why I only do this in the housekeeping, and it's touch and go. And unless somebody bring them up and talk about them, I'm not talking about these guys. But once again, Shakur puts his foot in his mouth. That is that's the housekeeping. Salute to Melazar. I see you in the building, man. Salute. But that's the housekeeping.
Who wrote that tweet or whatever it was? That
That's
post.
between Oshak. That's between Oshaki and Shakur.
Uh, yeah, Ochaki too is trying to get in. I wish he be talking like that to Navarrete. You feel me? That's the guy in 130. Shakur is now with Sufa. Like, you know, he gonna do his things and shit like that. Shakur should not even be, how you say, entertaining that fight, because more you talk with him and more you do shit, you're entertaining something that you are not gonna do, unless Ochaki come all the way to 140, 140 something, you know. But I don't know. I'm interested in Pitbull Cruz and Nestor Bravo, you know, because if you don't know, Nestor Bravo was the first, like when Rolly have all these opponents in the table and stuff. Nestor Bravo was in the table for him, but he didn't accept it, so they give it to people. You know, he got the interim over there, whatever. So, but yeah, Nestor Bravo got power too, you know, and
Yeah.
he's a quite big guy. He was in 147. 147, 140. Yeah, let's see how he's gonna do the cut weight for him. I'm fighting 140. That's another thing, because he's kind of quite a wide guy. You know, it's not like big, but he's, you know, these people that they're wide. So
Yeah.
and he got power. Like the loss that he got is because some guy boxed him out and surprised him. I think he thought that was gonna be an easy fight and was one of the most complicated fight he got. That guy is type of like a, how you say this guy, there's a couple guys like that. Devin Farmer used to be like that. Albright, you know, Albright too, that give problems to people, and if you're not trained well, he will win
Yeah.
you, you know. So
Yeah.
was with a veteran like that, but he liked to fight. He got power, you know. People Cruz like to come forward. Isn't hard to find him. So I think this is gonna be explosive fight. Maybe like 5 to 6 rounds. Either way.
He
But
definitely got the power that he can put people out, because I wanted to see Fierro. I wanted to see Fierro and Cruz again, because I think Fierro could have done it, but Fierro, he's just a wild card, man.
yeah, now he's getting better. You see what he did to De Los Santos?
He won. Yeah, I think he beat
Yo,
Duarte. Yeah.
he no, but he knocked the shit out of De Los Santos. Bro, lights out, like in the canvas with no hands, head first, bloop, like that, and he got faster, stronger. You know, he's a tall guy, so I think it's very big trouble for Cruz. But Bravo, he got power. You saw that last knockdown he got in his last fight. It was like kind of a back and forward, and suddenly a hook, and the guy was lights out. So he got that too. But people know how to break opponents' hands with that. You know, how you say, the turtle shell that he get. You know, he get like a little turtle.
Yeah, the
He's
armadillo.
really
I call it
small.
the armadillo style. Yeah.
Yeah, the armadillo style, that one. So we have to see, because you know, he got his things. Who was the other guys you got? I forgot.
I said let's just close it out, because I don't think I heard your take on it, but close it out so AC can get in on it. But
yeah.
the let's book in the Keyshawn. Let's book in. I've never got your thing, but they're sitting up there acting like it's a debate that Keyshawn actually ducked or not. Like it's like, how do you see that?
This is business. Keyshawn got 15-5, and he saw the numbers and the business. he don't see like nah, I'm gonna bring people, I'm gonna bring crowd, and this is the little bit I'm gonna get. Nah, like wasn't a business for him. And what I gonna get into a ring with a guy with everything against me? Like, don't make sense. So
Yeah, to me, it's not. It's just that, like, man, anybody else, they would have just like cut sling load. That's what we say in the army. You know what I'm saying? Air assault, you got to load. The helicopter is in danger. You got to load. You trying to get it from there. You might have to cut sling load just to save everybody on the helicopter, man. We would cut sling load with his ass. Like that's it. Like, it's too much shenanigans going on with the dude for everybody to try to act like this is controversial. There's nothing controversial about it. Like, the dude, it was 3 times as high as closest. It was a little bit over 3 times the amount he was going to get paid. It was an opportunity. And the whack ass example they gave, they said that Vernon Forrest turned down $1 million only to fight, not to fight Shane Mosley, and since Al Heyman, because they had to throw in a little jab at Al Heyman, right? Only to come back and say, yeah, but he wound up getting the fight, and it was for more money. Well, guess what? That ship has sailed. It was the 1 point whatever at first, then it was the 3, and then that shit went back down. He could have, saved his losses at 2. And now what? You're not going to get another opponent that can give you an accolade that Devin got right now and give you the money. So you fucked up. It's a duck. Anybody else that did that, it would just be a duck. We wouldn't have to spend hours on end talking about that bullshit. But that's just my take. Salute to Cam. I gotta let AC get his in. He's been patiently waiting. But salute to Cam, man. I see you on here, man. Appreciate you jumping up here.
Salute, man. Salute. I'm just coming in, man. Do your things. AC was popping, man. Malazza crazy ass, man. What's popping, man?
What up? What's going on? Hey, Cam. What up, G? Having so. What's up?
Man. Chilling, man. In the cut, man. Chilling, man.
Well, I'll start right here.
See, I don't forget about you. You're my brother, no doubt, for a long
man.
time.
You know how we get down. But I'll start right here. Pitbull versus Nesta Bravo. It's a decent fight. Nesta Bravo's only got 1 loss. Pitbull got 3. It could be interesting. This could be, a banana peel type fight because Nesta does have I think Pitbull is like 5'4", some shit like that. Nesta Bravo is like 5'9". You know what I'm saying? He's got the height and the reach advantage over him, so it's just going to be interesting. We'll see where Pitbull is at and see whatever goes on. And at the end of the day, to relate that to what you was talking about earlier concerning Oshaki, Shakur been talking about trying to fight Pitbull since him, Ryan, and even before that, he's been talking about fighting Pitbull for years, but he won't pull that trigger to fight him. And you're at his weight class right now, so Pitbull is coming off a draw. It's not like you're fighting somebody coming off a loss or a stoppage loss, like you was about to do with Cordelia. So let's just let that make sense. I'm gonna move right into the hitman type situation, and for me, at first it was something I didn't really notice, but then after a minute, I was like, "Hey, wait a minute! This dude is these guys at this whole ring thing and who they're choosing to talk during these fights. You're being hit to guys that are not even over there. Like me and Body was talking about on that last card, that De La Hoya card, they couldn't stop bringing up Shakur's name. Everybody was compared to Shakur. The performance of Charles Conwell was somehow compared to a performance by Shakur, and I was like, how the fuck do you dudes do that? Like, how do you get there with all of that? So the hitman aspect of it, yeah, that's real these days, because I don't know if they're trying to just make it seem about one promotional company, but now that everybody's together, they're trying to make it about a handful of fighters, 3 fighters, and everybody else is, oh, nobody in the world could beat them. when it comes down to these three guys. And how do we know which one is the best? They all have to get there and they all have to fight. Well, me being a Devin fan, I keep trying to tell people there is nothing positive about what Devin did. I mean, you could say, yeah, he stood on 10, he did X, Y, and Z. But the mere fact that you're supposed to be Debo and you're supposed to have DHP and DHP is supposed to be doing all of this stuff, I keep asking, then why the fuck Teofimo Lopez put his money up? And I say it like this, and this is my conspiracy theory. Both Teofimo and Rolly came together to put that bid in, to just to fuck with you, to troll you, to say, yo, Dev, your DHB ain't what you think it is, and you're who you think you are ain't him. Because at the end of the day, look what we just did. Just to fuck with you. And then Top Rank coming out and, oh, it's the highest bid. So fucking what? That's not a good look. That's not something to cheer about. Devin Haney is in a world of shit. Devin Haney doesn't have a fight. So what the fuck are you Devin Haney fans happy about? He's chasing Liam Paro? Okay. All right, but at the end of the day, you could have did that at 40 when Paro was down there. You could have been got that Paro smoke. You could have took the Rolly fight. There are so many things you could have done that you didn't do. And people are like, yeah, don't nobody want to fight that. Well, Dev been showing me you don't want to fight. You don't want to fight people. You want to fight a specific person if the advantages are there. If they're not there, I ain't fucking with you. Shakur come out and within the last couple of weeks dropped at least 3 tweets telling Bozufa and Ring Magazine who he not gonna fight. And I have to ask Ring Magazine, this is your homie, bruh. This the dude y'all said arguably can be number 1 on the pound for pound list. Tell me what other pound for pound fighter is moving like this dude, tweeting who he not gonna fight. When Bud Crawford was there and Errol Spence was there, did you get any tweets from them telling you who they not gonna fight? Oh, I ain't fighting nobody who got at least, if you got one belt and you lost that belt, or if you got one belt and never got never got out of that division and didn't do this and didn't do that, okay, that leaves about 2 guys that are left for you to fight. Number 1 was Devin Haney, the number 2 is Tank, according to these tweets you dropping. And now you don't even want to fight them. Oh, I'm past that. That fight is behind me. Tell them goofies to leave me alone and all of this other stuff. I'm like, bruh, where the fuck are we in boxing? And that's where I'll leave it with that, because the hitmen are out there praising this guy, telling us that he's the best. Well, I ain't never seen the best fighter in the world run from so much smoke. And finally, yeah, Oshak, hang in there, because all of us real fans know that you did what everybody's cooking Keyshawn for. They're saying Keyshawn is the biggest duck. You inherited that because of what Shakur did with Oshaki, because there wasn't enough room on that dick glazing piece of meat that y'all was glazing to put both Shakur and this guy on. So what do? You said, all right, we're gonna give Shakur a pass and say, well, you know, Shak has got 3 losses and Shak is this and Shak is that. But the minute Keyshawn fucks up and Keyshawn think he's gonna get the same treatment, no, you gotta pay double, because we couldn't cook Shakur for that. So we're gonna cook you, the second best choice. And that's why, to me, it's very heavy-handed on how people are talking about Keyshawn, when at the end of the day, guess who did that same thing that Keyshawn just did at 154 pounds when it came down to Boachuk, and we was talking about Boots going up there to fight that same guy. You feel what I'm saying? A dude just did the same thing. The fight was mandated. It was getting ready to go to purse bid, and then he ducked out of the fight. to go fight Virgil and get stopped by Virgil. But we weren't calling him a duck, the biggest duck. We weren't calling Shakur the biggest duck. So why the fuck is Keyshawn the biggest duck when he's just following what was already established? And I'm not sticking up for Keyshawn. I'm sticking up for the same energy argument. When one fighter does it, don't come up with the excuses. Then when another fighter does it, yeah, well, he did it and he got a Virgil fight. Okay. He got stopped by Virgil, but it's still the same situation. Keyshawn doesn't have a fight. Oh my God, Keyshawn. Oh my God, I'm about to jump out the window. So for me, I'm just a little confused about the energy that's being heavily handed on Keyshawn, and I'm not bringing out my violin. I'm not trying to be sympathetic to the dude. I'm not doing none of that. Cook the shit out of him because he deserves it. Because right now, this shit is becoming an epidemic.
Guys.
So that's where I'll leave that. Go ahead. If you wanted to chime in, Cam, you go ahead. I landed my plane.
So good shit, good cook up right there, AC, man, for sure, man. Hey, man, I'm with you, man. As far as the I'll just go along with y'all talking about as far as Pitbull and Nessa Bravo. I talked about this fight. I mean, it's a cool little fight for Pitbull to get back in the groove and stuff after the Rose fight and everything, and have a nice little payday, show out in front of his his fans and everything for us that fight, and still be a good little scrap for us. Jesus Ramos on that card, fight Miriam on that card, so I'm interested in that fight as well, man. So definitely interested for us September 19th for us those guys concerns. Now for us the man, man Keyshawn, man, Coco Puff, Keyshawn Davis, man, it's nasty work for that man out here right now, man. I don't know what's going on, but definitely, we know what's going on. I mean, it's the obvious that obviously you got, Shakur, Keyshawn following up on Shakur's, these guys are built off of, low risk, high paydays out here right now, man. And, that's what they want. And, the situation with Keyshawn, you got, Bob Earl, he's pissed about that right now, man. I seen, a little article, I guess, from Dan Raphael that he had, and he spoke about it, and he was like, yeah, I'm pissed at this man, Keyshawn, pretty much, this man, he talked himself into this fight, and then, we put him in position, get him the fight, give him some good money for the fight, and then he want to renege from the fight and stuff. So has a fight up until May 2027 with Top Rank. So I can see him definitely be on the shelf till then. And he got 2 more fights on this deal with Top Rank. Ain't no telling what Top Rank gonna want to do with this man because he done dropped the ball on the De Los Santos situation, and he dropped the ball on this situation with Devin Haney now, man. And you got Shakur out here moving shaky, putting roadblocks between a lot of fights that he has among coming across his way, and have the big brotherhood with Keyshawn, Ray Ford, Africa, all of these guys. Like nobody's in boxing history has done this. Like far as have a whole brotherhood, put so many roadblocks in between fights. It's like ridiculous, man. And right now, it's translating to where the casual fans are seeing what Shakur and Keyshawn is all about. The mainstream media, and of course, the hardcore fans, of course, because us, us real ones speaking about it, man. Because we definitely been speaking about it heavy for us. These guys, man, moving shaky out here, man. I know Bodywork and AC, of course, man. So definitely, man. It's just nasty work to see these guys move crazy out here in AK, man. It's hurting the sport badly, man. They're watering down the sport with all of this shaky business out here, man.
Definitely. They definitely are. I'm frustrated with them guys, man. And I hate the way the media is handling it. Right now, I'm trying to tackle the media and try to open people's eyes up to how they paint people. It's like, it's nowhere in the world you should be out here in defense of Keyshawn, because what you're going to do, and this is what I always say, what these guys are doing, especially with them being the Olympians, with them being Olympians and them having the pedigree they come from, They are setting a precedence. All we talk about precedence. And when you do that, you got young guys doing this and doing that. So when they come up to terms, they're gonna be able to say, "Oh, nah, he did it." Because just like what Max was saying, since Vernon Forrest did it, and Al, you know what I'm saying, pretty much negotiated and worked it out to where he still got the fight. He went on to beat him and he got more money. So what? Would that mean that when you get in that position, then that was for $1 million. This was $3 million. And in that short time frame, it ain't that much inflation in the world. For the biggest opportunity of your life, all of the little screw ups you done already made, right? And then this was the worst thing you could have done, Keyshawn, because now you got Devin Haney in the mess hall with his chest out, acting like he got a victory. I'm like, dude, wake up. This was not a victory for Devin. And for him, and watch, we ain't gonna hear all this back and forth in the media when it come down to him and Liam Paro. Next thing you know, they're gonna say, "Oh yeah, the fight is announced." It ain't gonna be like 3 months of being in the media and all this back and forth and all this, and that's Richardson Hitchens leftovers. Now I know Richardson Hitchens, he used to be one of my guys, but he got on my shit side. But that's leftovers in the grand scheme of things. So why wouldn't you fight Richardson Hitchens? Like, it don't make sense. Why would you fight Liam Park? Like, because obviously it wasn't about legacy. It was about legacy. You would have did what you needed to do to fight Ryan. It was about legacy. You would have did what you needed to do to fight Rolly. If it was about legacy, you would have took Tank out, took him up on this offer, because you was begging. Like, it was annoying the shit out of me how much Bill was begging for that 144 with Shakur. That was begging. Y'all peep how he was begging for that, and that was the least one. Like, and out of all these opponents, Shakur was the one with the least risk, because you know, okay, you might get outboxed, but you ain't gonna get beat the fuck up. You know it's real deal Holyfield when you get in there with any one of these other guys, where you might get your shit splattered all over the place. So now you're gonna go from Liam Paro, and watch, it ain't gonna be all of this bickering and back and forth with no Liam Paro. That shit gonna go down. He gonna sign up, and Liam Paro, I mean, it's gonna be Kambosos 3.0. You got the height, you got the reach, you got all that advantage. You've been there, you know what I'm saying? He just got his feet wet, and now, under the guise of legacy, now Liam Paro just abracadabra, boom, we gonna get that fight, and with no hiccups. It ain't even gonna get drawn out like that. It ain't gonna be all this media tour that Bill be doing. It's bullshit. So that was the worst thing. That's why I'm more upset with Keyshawn. Okay, you do what you say you doing what you doing for your career. I understand. Okay, cool. No harm, no foul. You a dumbass. But the worst thing you did was to pull out of that shit, because now you got Devin Haney out here like, yeah, and Devin, that's all he want to do is take. I'm like, do y'all even watch? Do y'all even watch the patterns of Devin Haney? This is nothing new. I say this all the time. Like, they attach themselves and their names to big fights and fights that people will clamor for, right? Only to fight somebody that nobody don't give a fuck about. And now you done got Devin with this false sense of, and then they saying Brian Norman, he ain't worthy of a rematch. I'm like, how is he not worthy of a rematch? He got back in the win column with a knockout. If that man says that he want a rematch, give him a rematch. But they disqualifying Tiger. Say, oh no, he got litigation against me. They disqualifying Ryan. Say, oh no, y'all know he be on them PEDs. They disqualified Rolly. Oh man, you know that offer wasn't good. They disqualified Tank. Like, oh man, Tank is inactive, man. We ain't gonna. So you don't want to fight everybody. Don't piss on my head and tell me it's raining. You know what I'm saying? So, but like I said, just the same thing that happened with Lamont Roach this past weekend, man. When that shit went down, that's what's gonna happen to these guys, because they painted themselves in the corner, and they gonna get their asses busted or belt the ass by somebody that it shouldn't go down like that. But the way they moving, that's how. And the last thing, I'm gonna land right here. The last thing is, it was a time when Devin Haney moved to 40. He clout chased Tito. He clout chased Subriel Matias, and that's when I was like putting out a lot of content about Subriel. I was standing in the gap for him. And Bill got on there and act like he called his manager. He called some totally different manager. It wasn't even Subriel's manager. Guess who came in and saved the day? Liam Paro came down there, went down to Puerto Rico and busted his ass. That was the same night when Gary Anton got edged out by Puello. right? And then he got outworked by Pyro, and Tank knocked Frank Martin out. That was the same night, but they clout chased and said, oh yeah, we'll fight anybody. Y'all didn't want to fight Subriel Matias when he was a killer. But now you gonna go fight Liam Pyro now. Like, this shit is dumb. But I'll land right there, man. Anybody else got anything else before we get into the meat and potatoes?
Shit, man. I say this before because I gotta run real quick. Yeah, man. Right now, even Devin, man, he ain't exempt either, bro. Like a lot of these dudes is moving funny out here, man. Like it's just hurting the sport with a lot of the shaky movement around this era. These guys moving like divas out here right now, man. And that's why, like, you got to get interested in the guys like, the David Benavidez, the Boo Sanders, the guys that's out here putting it on the line, man, that's, doing good shit in the sport that's really chasing legacy amongst chasing the bag in the process of it. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what it should be about. It's about the bag and the legacy in the process of it. I mean, some guys don't get that objective of it. You know what I'm saying? You got to start somewhere. Like you said, Floyd Mayweather had to be the Oscar De La Hoya to get to the next level. You know what I'm saying? And, that's what he did. You know what I mean? So definitely crazy shit in the sport, man, for sure, man. Salute, body, man. I'm going to roll out, man. Keep cooking, man. AC.
Before you go.
Yeah, go ahead.
Hold on, real quick. Before you go, like, what's your take on them saying, oh, nobody wants to see the Brian Norman? Like, why would we want to see Brian Norman get his rematch?
I mean, the reason why they saying that, because of Devin, he said on Twitter, he was like, yo, I ain't rematching that man. I'm cool on it. And then on top of that, you had even with the situation with the WBO with Gustavo said that they wouldn't mandate him to fight Devin right now either. So when Gustavo said that, then of course the Haney fan base ran with that quick once he said it, and that's where that came with crazy for real. But I mean, me personally, I wouldn't mind seeing a fight. No, do I care about it that much? I ain't that crazy about it, but I mean, it is what it is. He's number one. You know what I'm saying? But Gustavo feels like he needs to, a fight or two to build to get in back to that position to get that title shot at, whoever's the WBO champion, whether it's Devin or somebody else.
I feel you. All right, man. I appreciate you jumping up.
Yeah, for sure, man. Salute, man. Y'all boys keep doing your thing, man. Y'all already know, man. I'm listening in.
All right, man.
All right,
peace.
Take care, Cam.
Yeah, what y'all got, man? What y'all got before we transition? Anybody? Anything?
My plane is landed. You could transition.
Oh, okay. I don't want to talk about Haney or freaking Keishan.
Yeah. It's just triggering because I be because they, the thing is, man, it's man, I don't know, man. I can't tackle everything, but like the shit that I be hearing, it just like it irks my nerves because I'm like, man, y'all don't know with the audience that y'all have before y'all, especially the people that be having thousands and hundreds of people watching. Like they was going back, and this is my last thing I'm gonna say about Dev, right? Because I gave him the respect for the Brian Norman, but it's like he'll gain my respect, right, and then he'll lose it or he'll throw it away. Now, so he gained some respect from this Keyshawn shit because I said they were playing chicken, and Keyshawn swerved. So yeah, you could stand tall on the Keyshawn that faction, that sliver of the pie. You can stand tall on that. Everything else is BS because they was going back Ness from the Haney voice. Yeah, this man was talking about, he wanted to fight anybody from Robert Easter, and he brought up the Mikey Garcia and all. I'm like, no, you didn't. I got videos in real time where I debunked all of that in Ness's own voice. Like I got a whole video in Ness's own voice going at it with Bill where he debunked it, but now he playing dumb again. Like he debunked it on his show, and now he's playing dumb again. The nigga never wanted to fight Robert Easter. He never wanted to fight Mikey Garcia. There was clout chasing Adrian Broner because he was long in the tooth. And Boots, Adrian Broner, Blair the Flair, all of them were chasing Adrian Broner. Blair the Flair, in his unorthodox way, he landed that fight. He knocked his tooth out and pieced Adrian AB up. But for real, that nigga ain't want to fight all them people. It's just like with
Haney's playing what he deserved because you see, Roddy Romero have already a fight with Teofimo in the T-Mobile Arena, and Haney still looking for scraps everywhere, and he cannot find a fight because he's not entertaining, and nobody want to do a 70-30 or 75-25 deal. Get the fuck out of here. You don't even sell tickets, and you want the freaking 75 piece of the cake? Hell no. You know,
But
like
that's what Millers are.
Liam
That's why we
Faro in
needed.
Australia.
That's why we needed Keyshawn to get in there and try to bust his ass. We needed Keyshawn to
Ah,
do that. You know what I'm saying? He
Keishan
dropped the
saw that
ball.
the deal is not good for him. You know, anyway, you go into a fight 50-50, and the deal is not good for him in nothing, not in the weight class, not in the money, not in the place. You know, I bet it was a bunch of shit that he looked into that and he was like, nah, I'm not gonna get involved in this shit. You know, like Kitchen isn't stupid neither. And yes, he entertained the media and social media and all these Haney fans and stuff that like to go with that shit. But Haney's no business for nobody. And anyway, Kitchen got 15 fights. Haney got 30 something fights. So Kitchen still have a freaking career and he can do better, have a lot of better opponents, stay 140 because it's not like he's a 147. He's just like, how you say, he don't like to train. He got so much talent that he don't want to train, like he's not motivated enough because he think that just with his talent and a little bit of training he can make it, you know. I don't know, like that he can do
Yeah, we're gonna
140.
see. We're gonna see what happened with him, man. I'm done with Quack Sean, man. Like that nigga, like let him go get it out the mud. You know what I'm saying? Like, go get it out
Yeah,
the mud. Since you so talented, let him get it out. His promoter ain't with him. His promoter don't like what he just did. You know what I'm saying? He's getting ill advised. And I think this is all a plight for him to go over to Zuffa. And that shit gonna backfire. You know why? Because if they go over to Zuffa, all three of them niggas, Hitchens, all of the whole the BFF network, they're gonna find themselves on an island. They're gonna have to fight. There's gonna
yep.
be a whole lot of bitching and screaming and complaining. I'm gonna be there with popcorn watching that shit go down. So fuck
Yeah,
them niggas, man.
in,
Um,
in the
let's
sport
move
of
on, man.
in the
Let's just move on.
professional sports, all of them is no friends, you know. You always want to beat your enemy and you always want to be the best. You saw in Larry Bird and Magic Johnson, they never was friends. They when they was playing in the court, after the court and all that stuff, you know, then they become friends. But playing, you can, in every single sport, your enemy is your enemy. That team, you want to beat them. Like you can see in baseball, Big Papi and the guys from the New York, now they're friends and they talk. But back in the day when they was playing, they was enemies. So in boxing, how the fuck you gonna have friends, motherfuckers? Best friends?
Right?
Hell no. You
Yeah,
got sparring partner or gym partners and shit, but at the end of the day, in that ring, everybody's your enemy and everybody's your opponent because you want to be the number one. Before,
that's a good point. That Larry Bird analogy, that was on point, man. Lazar. You well rounded, man. But let's transition, man, because I want to get on to. Normally we spend the first hour talking about the housekeeping, and then we get into the meat and potatoes. If you have not seen or witnessed the show before, so it's not we don't be gaslighting you saying, oh, they never gonna talk about. No, for the first hour, that's pretty much what we get into. Sometimes it run over if it's a passionate topic. Then we get into the meat and potatoes. But what I want to talk about is the Dark Horse Project, right? What I've done was I comprised 4 fighters from lightweight to junior middleweight that I believe are flying under the radar, that have all the skills and capabilities. Now, they're not media darlings. Like even Conwell, he's more like an introvert, so maybe you're not going to get the Keyshawn Davis type personality that make you want to watch his personal lives and all. You're not going to get that. But he's a lunch pail hard. He's a lunch pail and hard hat type guy where he like Mortalia. He's another lunch pail hard hat type guy to where you're not going to get a lot of pizzazz, but what you will get is a lot of smoke. And so I highlighted these guys These 4 guys, and I wanted to show that I'm really not biased towards Zuffa, because I said that when it came down to Zuffa, there are a couple guys. I like Jaleel Hackett. He's from DC. You know what I'm saying? He has an affiliation with Tank in that camp, Coach Kenny. You know, and I'm proud of what he's able to do. And I always said, like from its inception, I said, yeah, there are a couple guys that probably needed to go over there. Like I thought Rayo, I thought that was like Rayo going over there. I'm like, yeah, that's a good fit. Why? Because you've had fights, you've had big fights, you've lost, you've come back and stopped everybody that you lost to, right? But you're not one of them guys. You're not like an A-lister. If boxing had A-listers, B-listers, and you know, a caste system like that, you're not an A-lister, and maybe you need a little bit more money so that you don't have to go, you know, work at a grocery store or do something like be a mechanic or something, but like enough money to sustain yourself so you can still box for a living. That is the prototypical type of person that needs to be at Zuffa. Like I think El Rayo would be the poster boy. If he can land that Shakur fight, I think he is the poster boy for what the type of fighter that needs to go to Zuffa. It's almost like pro box but on steroids. Like it's on pro box with a nice purse. It's on pro box to where it's like, okay, cool. I don't gotta go get a job. Like I'm not gonna get into the whole. I think his name is Lonnie Daniels. Like that guy Lonnie B. That guy Lonnie B. Lonnie B is the guy who took on a lot of different fights, right? And he bit off more than he can chew early, and he was a late notice replacement. He's a guy to where it's like you can call him late notice, and he probably gonna accept it, and you can probably strong arm me. He said, "Hey man, this all you gonna give me? Man, take it or leave it. 3 weeks." He's like, "Oh shit, I gotta take this." But he's working security. So had he not had to work security, like right now, I would say a guy like it's a guy, and he's coming back, Malik Iceman Hawkins. He was matched heavy. He from Baltimore. Nice. I ran into him at the grocery store. I ain't say nothing to him. This back in COVID, we had masks. I ain't say nothing to him. You know, we was on North Avenue, and in Baltimore, you just don't. You know what I'm saying? I ain't want to come off like no groupie or no flunky, because I'm definitely not. But then I didn't want him to think that I was trying him or doing nothing. But I just saw him. I was like, man, what is Malik Hawkins doing on North Avenue at the gas station? And this man, I seen a picture, an image with him and Coach Calvin the other day, and he was saying he's coming back. It's going to be a long way back because boxing years and the time he's had off, it's going to take him a while. But I always said, man, this is what I said. I said it on one episode too. I said if Malik Hawkins could have got down to pro box, if he would have given the same opportunity that JoJo Diaz got down to pro box, we would be talking about him. Malik Hawkins is nice. They saying he come. I think that he would be a prime candidate for Zuffa. So I'm not. Like, I'm anti-Zuffa because they came in, you know what I'm saying, with all that cayenne pepper, trying to be anti to the sanctioning bodies, the evil that we do know. Yes, it's flies in the ointment, right? But, like, that's the evil that we do know. But, like, guys like Malik Hawkins, I thought he would be good. El Rayo, he's good. Jaleel Hackett, he's good. I think even Shane Mosley Jr., I think he was good. He was a good fit for it. There was certain guys that's a good fit for Zuffa, but like not marquee guys. Like Shakur, he has no business over there. Somebody said it, I think AC said it. He was like, that's like Michael Jordan saying, right now at my prime, when I got everybody watching me, I'm gonna go down to the D League because I don't want to deal with this, and that. That's exactly how it is. So maybe Edwin De Los Santos needed to be over there. It's another guy in Elvis Rodriguez. He might have been a good fit. That's one of my guys. He just don't fight that often. I wanted to see Elvis Rodriguez and Tiger Johnson. But Tiger Johnson went on the welterweight. I don't know where Elvis Rodriguez is at. So I wanted to show my unbiasedness, you know what I'm saying, by highlighting El Rayo, because El Rayo is one of my guys. I like El Rayo. I fuck with El Rayo, man, the long way. So he's one of them. Tito Mercado. Tito Mercado is 19-0 with 18 knockouts. Only one guy survived. He was sick in that fight. He has all the skills to pay the bills. He's on a net. He's signed over there with the same promotional company that Clarissa Shields is signed to, Win Records and all that. But they also have a DAZN deal. So even though he's with, you know, a smaller fraction, you know what I'm saying, a splinter of, like, he's not with one of the major players, but he's still with a guy that has a the zone deal. So that means that still all fights are on the table. And I think that was kind of smart of him because he won't get shelved by guys like what happened over there at Golden Boy a lot of the times. The Golden Boy, quote unquote, if you want to call it that, they always take precedence over the Blair Flairs, over the Speedy Rashidis, over the Charles Conwells. Wink, wink. You know what I'm saying? Tito Mercado was smart because he took the momentum he had coming from Matchroom. I guess that, and he knew that he was going to be putting a shell wide because they was all up Shakur Stevenson's ass, right? All up Conor Benn's ass. Tito Mercado was getting left by the wayside. Richard Hitchens was getting left by the wayside, right? So they had the defect. But Tito Mercado just did it with Salita and win records or whatever. Rolly, man, if you really look at it, right, Rolly had his lumps in the road, right? He got put on stilettos by Tank. You know, he got sparked by Pitbull, but he's bounced back. He has matured of some sorts, and guess what? He got a title. And he just got ducked by Devin Haney. I'm sorry if you don't like it. Bye. He got ducked. That was a straight up duck. Like, we could have got closure to a triangle theory that we have with Ryan, Rolly, and Devin. Well, a lot of us think that Ryan got Devin number, right? Some people discount it because of the Osterine, right? But Rolly was able to make Ryan put his hands in his pockets. And some people say, oh man, it was because Rolly wasn't in a good headspace. Pretty much it was a bad night at the office. I'm like, okay. But the only thing is I never hear Ryan talking about getting that get back. And I thought that because of the sparring and whatever history they had, the same reason why I think that Shakur ain't in no rush to get in there with Oshaki. Because we could say we want, oh man, he's so much bigger, he blah, 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 he this. No, he admitted that Oshaki got the best of him in sparring. So we know that what happened in sparring should stay in sparring, just like Vegas, right? But that's not always the case. And these fighters know. So I believe that Rolly, he got Ryan number, right? Ryan got Devin number. And with that triangle, we were going to see who had whose number between Rolly and Devin. And Devin was like, nah, I'm not a real promotional company. I don't even want to invest the $6 million in myself. I'm not going to gamble in myself. I need guaranteed money. Okay, cool. I think he's the dark horse because he already got a strap. He was sort of like a joker or a wild card in a sense, but he has matured. I think his skills have matured. I think his personality has died down a little bit. He's still infectious with his personality. People still want to see him, and it's kind of like what's going on with Rolly? He's interesting enough to where you'll watch him talk, and he got some philosophy, and he's a little smarter than what you would think he is. You would think he was dumb as a box of rocks, but Rolly has wisdom. It don't come off like high IQ, but it's wisdom. And he got a good coach. He left Bullet. He's with Salas, right? A Cuban coach. You know what I'm saying? So even when it's a language barrier or something that might not translate, he can get in his ear and tell him what he needed to do. He made Ryan put his hands in his pockets. He made Devin duck him. And he set up a fight with Teofimo Lopez, who some may argue is like he might be outmatched skill-wise, but I don't know. I've been seeing a lot of people jumping out there saying that Rolly might stop Tio. I'm thinking, man, shit, Tio rises to the level whenever he's moved up, not even moved up, whenever he's faced a champion, right? Like, not what happened with Shakur, but like when he fought Loma, who was that guy? When he moved up and he fought Josh Taylor, when he was that guy. Now he's moving up and he's fighting Rolly, who is, you know, I'm saying, man, quiet as kept. He might be that guy. Ryan not asking for no rematch. Devin ducked him. Who else we talking about? Tio might rise to the occasion because he gets up for them big fights because he's a roller coaster guy. And then we got Conwell, who just got hit back in the saddle, right? He's bad news. R.I.P. to Patrick Day. He sent, you know what I'm saying, Patrick Day up. He always pays homage and respect to him by having this patch on his shorts and honoring him. Sent letters to his family, you know, asking them should he continue and just letting them know that, hey man, you know, it's just, it was what it was. It's just sports, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't intentional, and these things happen, right? He was Mr. Catch a Body without advertising. I'm Mr. Catch a Body. You know what I'm saying? But he really did. He's an action-packed guy. He faced Chino Perez. He lost, had a bad night at the office. Then he went on to watch Chino Perez fight Xander, get beat for a title, and then Xander unify, and then go on to have Boots. So in a way, Xander kind of took his lane. Now, would he have got no same opportunities? I'm not sure, because Conwell is a bad mamma jamma. He's 21-0. I mean, he's 21-1 with 17 knockouts, and he put somebody out of there. You know what I'm saying? He really took somebody up out of there. People are not ringing his doorbell and rushing up on him trying to see, you know what I'm saying, trying to get that smoke. They're not. They playing dodgeball. They sending low ball offers for him, right, and stuff like that. But these are the dark horses from lightweight to junior middleweight. And maybe these might not be your dark horses. It was a couple other guys I said I was debating about whether I could put them there. But I wanted to say, look, man, my issue with Zuffa is everything that I said before. But I still like certain fighters on Zuffa, right? So I wanted to highlight Rayo. Tito Mercado is my guy at 140. Rolly, he flying under the radar. There's something about them that people be like, man, I don't know if I want to get in there with this crazy ass. And Charles Conwell, he's just bad news. So maybe you have a different dark horse. Let's talk about your dark horse. Let's talk about these dark horses. I still got a nutritional value aspect of it, but that's just the opening dialogue to open up the conversation. So get in where you fit in about this. Who want to go first?
Well, I'll start. Basically, I feel like this. Conwell is one of my it's definitely one of my dark horses. And I kind of put him in a category with some of these other young guys that are there for me. For me, Tito Mercado is definitely within that because people just don't want to see him, and the promotional companies are reluctant to put the money behind him, because if you put the money behind him, then the guy that you are trying to spotlight and showcase, 9 times out of 10, his star is going to shine just a slight bit dimmer than this guy that you're claiming is the nobody. So some guys just have to do it from the mud, like they have to just show and prove whatever it is. Other people, they just say, yeah, I can do it, and everybody just automatically believes them. So for me, when I look at, let me see, Tito Mercado, Rohan Polanco, Brian Norman Jr., David Benavidez. These are the guys that, to me, even though David Benavidez has a big name and we've had the conversation about him being the face of Latin boxing, the issue is that no matter what we're looking at from David Benavidez, looking at the moves, there was the justification of why David Benavidez shouldn't get the Canelo fight. Now they're talking about David Benavidez because Ja went over to Zuffa Island, and once he got over there, he saw the monsters, and now he's like, listen, at the end of the day, I got stripped, I lost a lot of stuff, and for me to get it back, for me to get validation back, knowing that I don't have a belt, David Benavidez is my fight. So if I can get the media behind me in trying to force David Benavidez to comply to me, then it is what it is. So I would say it like this, Ja, at the end of the day, stop mentioning David Benavidez's name if you and Zuffa is not going to send an offer, because we already have history of this year where B-sides have sent A-side offers. So if that's how you guys really want the fight, stop trying to call him out, and why don't you just send the man an offer? Something that makes sense. We just got, we're hearing that Rolly versus, not Rolly, the fight between Conor Ben is going to go through. Conor Ben and Ryan Garcia. So if that fight goes through and it's made, then okay, Ja, what's your problem? Stop calling the man out and send him an offer. If he ducks the offer, then that's something different. But if you're not sending him no offer, what is David Benavidez scared of? So for me, when I look at a lot of these things and look at these guys that are true dark horses in these divisions, it's like, yeah, I see what's going on. And for me, I'm afraid that Yo-Yo Hernandez might be the next one in that group. Because now with Tim Tszyu up there, and then you got some of those established names up there, Yo-Yo might, chances of getting a big fight might start looking slimmer and slimmer. Because some of those other guys are like, well, I'll fight Tim Tszyu in Australia. Make that a big fight. And then people will go ahead and think that that's actually a big fight. Instead of saying, all right, Yo-Yo been there. Why won't you guys give Yo-Yo a shot?
Let me say there's one thing to something you said. If you haven't landed, you can land, and then Melazar can chime in. But you said something interesting, and this is a dynamic that we haven't spoke of, and I believe that in some instances, I think that Ryan and Conor Ben, they are in a tricky spot because I think they might be the exception to the rule. And this is what the thing. It was a small window to where they could have capitalized. Now you seen them give footing away to the whole opening up to letting them fight. You starting to hear Dana White say, "Oh yeah, we might be open to, the sanctioning bodies." He was kind of cold the last interview I seen where I actually took time out and watched what he was saying. Cause they was asking, they asked him who got the award for the last fight. He didn't even know. He didn't know, right? But I believe they see that because you got to think Turkey, and I see you, Swah, you on there.
Okay.
But I believe that since Turkey has a controlling interest in Zuffa, you kind of like behind the scenes. He like a puppet master over there, right? He actually had Ryan on a contract. So when Zuffa signed Conor Ben, it was a tricky situation where Dana was just going to try to force feed and do whatever and cut Oscar out. But Oscar, hold on now. I'm still that guy. The same shit he did with Virgil. Like, hey, y'all can't cut me out. These are still my guys. I ain't falling asleep at the wheel, but I might nod off every now and again. But wake up, I'm up, motherfucker. You ain't gonna do that. But the thing is, it's a tricky situation because they still had Ryan for one last fight. So this is an oddity to me. So this illusion that they can make any fights and do whatever because they're not registered as being like what Oliveri was saying. Like they gotta register and go through the proceedings to be able to bid and do whatever, like as a promoter or whatever. But they can still hold events. But see, since Turkey had Ryan on the contract, he could kind of bend a little bit to make that happen. I'm not gonna say that everybody like what Shakur is saying and how you like why Shakur is saying what he's saying, why Richard Hitch is saying what he's saying. Even you got El Rayo saying what he was saying. Now he was calling out, he was saying he wanted Shakur. He called out somebody else recently. But with these Zuffa guys calling out non-Zuffa fighters, that might be short-lived. So we gotta keep an eye on that. I want y'all to keep in mind, this is what I'm saying. And long story short, Turkey had a contract on Ryan, one last fight. Zuffa signed Ben, but Turkey got a controlling interest. So yes, it took for Dana to say, oh no, we gotta acknowledge Oscar and they gotta be Golden Boy gotta be a part of it because that's still a fighter. He was trying to debo the situation and the shit didn't work. He wound up getting his brakes pumped. But I'm not sure that outside of him having a contract on Ryan, that it's going to be like that to where Zuffa fighters could fight anybody else. I think they still kind of on an island. So we giving them, not me, because I'm not French, but people are giving them the benefit of the doubt in that situation. But I'm not sure that Zuffa fighters can't only fight non-Zuffa fighters. I think that Ryan is just an exception to the rule. You feel what I'm saying, AC?
Yeah, I definitely get it. And according to their business model, they cannot fight anybody that's not in Zuffa. But the only reason why, for me, I didn't know that dynamic with Ryan. I was basing the things that I was saying based on what the WBO president was talking about when he kind of was insinuating towards a path that Zuffa can play nice with everybody else. They just have to distinguish uh, uh, their big name fights versus the fights for the Zuffa title. Those are two separate entities. Here's the reason why I'm saying what I'm saying. When I watched the last Zuffa card, and this is where I'm going to land, I don't know if people really paid attention to the fact that the very beginning of that undercard thing, when the part that they were showing free on YouTube, you saw amateur fighting. Dudes with the red and the blue corner, and they had the helmets on. One guy had on the blue uniform, one guy had on the red uniform. That's the exact business model. So according to their business model, they have to put on those league type of fights if you're going to be able to get the advantages and run your company the way you want. So with that being said, that shows the difference between the real Zuffa entity and how it works as a UBO or UBO model. And that's the only way you can really Google Zuffa. You just Google UBO model. If you Google UBOs, you're going to get a whole bunch of other stuff. But if you just Google straight UBO model, it's only going to tell you about Zuffa, because that's the way the federal government right now and AI has it listed as a model. It's not something that's there because it hasn't even gone through its final House vote, and that's just not going to happen anytime soon. So with that being said, the way the WBO president spoke about it, and the fact that, yeah, because you're a promotional company, because you're all in one, you do have an avenue to go work with us, but you're choosing not to. There's nothing within your framework that says you just can't change that rule and work with us if you're a promoter. And I'm going to bring up this example. Terrence Crawford versus Canelo Alvarez was a Zuffa promotion. There you go. So they already have experience with making regular boxing matches and working with the sanctioning bodies. Just with this your model, they're choosing not to. That's what it comes down to.
So what it boils down to is whether or not Dana wants to concede on that Zuffa strap. Is what
Exactly.
It like. I think that's the delineating factor, and that's why Jai found himself on the outside looking out, because IBF was down. They said, look, you can fight as long as it's for a trinket, but if you try to be some Zuffa champion and all this and all that, ixnay on a mixed name, and that's why he got his ass stripped. And so, yeah, great point, AC. Good cook, man. Good cook. But between Melazar and Swaz, salute, bro.
Salute, my guy. What's good?
What's happening with you? What y'all got?
Nah, go ahead, because I'm catching up, man. But nah, man.
No, my dark horses, the one you got over there, they look nice. I don't have Roddy like a dark horses because I got him already. Like, that guy is like, what, 2 divisional champion or some shit like that? And, you know, we call it La Cabra, the goat in Spanish, like, just to fuck around with people. But yeah, that guy, I got him like he's fighting everybody, you know? Like a good, I don't know, I'm watching all these guys, like Rayo. Rayo is a lot of problem for people, but what happened? That's why he went to Zuffa, because he don't get fights with regular opponents, because he's a problem. People see that, oh, I can lose with him, I'm gonna lose my status and quo and whatever, so they avoid him so he don't fight. That happened to Little Santos. You saw how he ended up, and that been happening to a lot of freaking young boxers. You know, Matias, how much he struggled to get fights, right? So yeah, for me, Zuffa is good for Matias too, and Ojo Santiago. I think Zuffa is good for them. But
You have you heard anything real quick? Have you heard anything about Subriel? I was about to do some research on him and see what's going on with him.
he have a video pop up the other weeks and stuff. They was talking about maybe November or something. So let's see. His knockdown was a really heavy one. Was behind the ear and whatever, and that was a tough fight. That was in January. I think like by November, December, he should be in the ring. Like we don't know if he's gonna go 147 now or he's gonna stay 140. We want like he go up to 147.
See, they tried to throw him to the wolves, and that's something I don't really speak about because I was saying I did a video a while ago because they had offered Subriel because everybody ducked him. Devin ducked him. You can't tell me shit about that because I was cooking his ass on that and that bullshit shenanigans he pulled. But he had an offer to go to 47 to fight Boots, and I was like, man, y'all throwing this man to the wolves. Why the only fight y'all got for him is for him to go up there to 47 to fight Boots right now when he's that guy? Subriel was that guy. Yes. Subriel was that guy at 40 for a long time. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It just he took too many punches. I think you got a punch count. Like just like pitchers have a pitch count. You know what I'm saying? Like before your shoulder start fucking, he got a punch count, and I think he took on too much punishment to where it finally caught up with him. And I think I lost a subscriber. I thought I lost a major player. I lost a major guy on the 300 because I came out and said, man, I don't know about Subriel, man. He can't keep doing this. And ever since I said that, dude been missing. He was one of my biggest 300 members.
Yeah, that loss he had to Paro killed him.
Nah, the loss with Paro was a while,
But I'm saying his momentum was going.
Oh, yes, his momentum.
You know what I'm saying? Then when he lost to Paro, that kind of took him. Go ahead, I'm sorry, I'm jumping in.
Yeah, but it's boxing, Yeah, that momentum with Paro, that was, but he gained another momentum, and again, this time with Dalton Smith, and it's the pressure too. Like that. Espérate, 1 second.
Y'all talking about
No, but I'm saying like
go ahead, Malay.
Dalton Smith too. Like he was the main event again. All the eyes on him. The pressure of the fight again. Eddie Hearn. Like then come out that stupid .00 whatever of the same shit that Rayo. That's stupid whatever. I don't know. Yeah. So took him out of concentration. They do a lot of drug tests, blood tests, all kind of shit. So when he got to that fight and he got that knockdown, I think that was all that pressure that just collapsed it there. And the referee never let him, but whatever, those are excuses. But I think too, like Subriel Matias is a good opener for a good core. When you have got the three main fights. So he been the opener he's good there, and he's gonna give you a great opening show to get you ready for the co-main and the main. But as a main event, I think all that pressure on him and more the company that is a small company, so it's too much for him. I think that's the problem. Like all the eyes are on him, so. And he came from the ghetto, being the streets, all that bullshit, his past, whatever. And I think being all eyes on him doesn't make it good neither. So
Milazar, let me ask you something. I threw up. I could have had like two. I could have swapped out two of these guys, right? But like before we hand it off to Swab, what are your dark horses from lightweight to junior middleweight? So 135, 140, 147, 154. Who are your dark horses?
Okay, 135. I got Alan Chavez over there, that Argentinian. No, not a lot of people know about him. He's coming in another fight of him, so I'm watching him, and I think he's gonna be a dark horse that gonna come out from nobody was expecting him. Another one because I'm gonna give you prospect, not champions and stuff like that. Like. In like 141 now, a dark horse over there. Like A dark horse in 140 that be there like nobody. I don't have one over there. But in 154, I think 147. In 147, I leave Rolly Romero over there, because he's not just a dark horse, he's a working horse, and he go down and he fight and he do his things. You know what? In 135, 140, I will have Lamont Roach because even he got that loss with Cameron. He's always putting a fight. He's entertaining. He never pulled back. He's always looking. Even in that fight, in the last 10 seconds, he was looking for the fight. So I got him there because damn, he won me. That motherfucker fight, and he got a good counter punching attack. Cepeda will have a lot of assimilation, and I wasn't counting with that assimilation and the speed and the stamina that he brought, but was more the assimilation. I was expecting Roach knock him out, with those counter punches, but he assimilated, so good for him. In junior middleweight, that's what 154.
Yeah.
Why now over there in 154? I think no, that's not a dark horse no more, but I don't know because I like what Boots is doing in 154. Like, but somebody.
But he wouldn't be. See, he's the people's favorite. Like he's the guy that got.
Oh, now yes.
Yeah,
now
so
yes.
I'm looking for that guy that's gonna come out like gonna peel the curtains back and be like, hold up, we got another player that entered the game. Like, but if you don't got one, you can come back.
There are a bunch of them, but yes, I have to think about it because it's a
just
bunch
come
of
back
them
to
that
it.
I've been watching.
Oh, let me add one more. Josh Kelly. I like Josh Kelly, and I like how he's moving lately, and I think he's a dark horse. And another one, Vito Milanicki. I'm kind of feeling the way these guys been moving lately in their performances.
See, when I said I could swap out too, Josh Kelly is really a guy. I could have really said that, but then I ain't want all the people to think, oh, you just hating on Boots. It's like, no, this don't have nothing to do with Boots. Like, but I like Josh Kelly got some skills, bro. And you take away that cut, you take away that dude headbutting him, because when you go back and watch that fight, that dude was headbutting the shit out of that man. I was like, damn, man, like that referee was trash, bro. But Josh Kelly, he got some skills. He got some skills, and I think he's developing. And I think that he's smart enough, and he's fleet of foot enough, and he got just enough power to where he can upset a lot of people, man. But let's watch.
I got one. In one because this fight is coming up. That is Jojo Feliciano versus Bebo Verona, the Argentinian. It's gonna be Argentinian versus Cuban. This Cuban kid been good, he have good knockdowns. This is gonna be his fight. If he beat this Bebo Verona, because that Argentinian, bro, he's a pro.
He can punch. Yeah,
he was in 154.
That's why I said when I did my little, cause that was part of the housekeeping. When I was talking about the Rolly, that Rolly undercard being meh, I said it was mid, but I liked it as a hardcore. But I'm saying as far as between hardcore and casual, I saying it was mid. But like that was one of my key things. That dude Verone, he can punch. So if he catch Yo-Yo and stun him, we finally gonna see Yo-Yo go through. We might see Yo-Yo go through some adversity, which is one of the things that we need to see a boxer go through before we stamp him. And that's why I said, man, I don't know.
So I'm looking forward.
I'm still evaluating Yo-Yo. I like him. I like his offensive output. Yeah. So, but let's let Swat jump in here, man. I know he's a single dad. He don't got much time.
Yeah.
So, you know what I'm saying? What you got, Swat?
Man, when I came in, man, I went out to Twin Peaks. Shout out to Twin Peaks, man. It was some good service going on over there. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah. Anyway, man, when I came in the crib, man. I think are y'all talking about the dark horse at 154?
Well, from lightweight to 154. So we got 135, 140, 147, and 154.
My two dark horses between that weight class is definitely Ray Tyler. I definitely got to put him in there. I mean, even though, you know, people kind of know him, but casuals really don't know him. But I don't think a lot of people want to, like, I don't think they want to step to him like that. I just don't. But to be honest with you, to my surprise, at 154, man, Sebastian Fundora, everybody know he's going to be on hard out. But don't nobody really give him that credit. You know what's funny? I don't think Sebastian know that he a top dog yet, because he still be wanting to fight on the undercard and still be wanting to kind of stay up under the radar. But you the cheat code, bro.
But I think,
you know,
see,
ahead,
to me, he is that guy. Like, I know
but
I'm a lot of
Boots
fans, but to me, he is the guy to beat. Like, to me,
too.
right now, Fundora's the guy to beat, but I didn't want to ruffle a lot of Boots fans, so that's why I didn't put him as a dark horse, because I think that he's that guy. That's why I couldn't put him as my dark horse.
Hey, buddy.
Yes,
until he move up, like he's an enigma. I called him
Hey,
the
buddy,
enigma.
I'm gonna do it for all the Boots fans who think they can look over Fundora. For me, I'm gonna put it in their face. And I love Boots, man. Don't get me wrong. I think Boots is an exciting fighter. I think he's the next superstar. I think Boots got a high ceiling, man. But the thing is that at 154, you kind of landed in that pot where you got that guy that ain't nobody ever seen before. So I'm with you, buddy. Like, I mean, for me, from when I talk to everybody, when I'm around, you know, just talking on YouTube, man, just politicking with everybody with boxing, man, it's like they want to give Sebastian that kind. They know he there, but they don't want to. They don't want to admit how dangerous he is, like how dominant he can be. And to be honest with you, yeah, go ahead.
That's what it is. They don't want to admit how dangerous Fundora is, but they don't know. I'm gonna tell you the hardest problem with Boots, right? And I noticed that you are a Boots fan. I'll give you credit. I've noticed that, and so for anybody listening, Swa is a Boots guy. Like I've heard him, like in our little conversations, I've heard him. But this is the thing. People don't know how to promote Boots, man. It's like they gotta put so much cayenne pepper on it until, like, cause this is a tricky situation where when a fighter is coming into his own and he's proving it, and up until that threshold between where he show you like, okay, I got that it factor, I got a lot of the qualities. In between that and then you actually proving it, it's like it's a little tricky spot right in between there. It's a little time frame in between there to where you might go overboard and shit on everybody and do it, but you don't got to do all of that. I'm saying all you got to do is just wait, just promote your guy. But that's the thing with Boots, people don't know how to promote him, so they'll diminish Fundora to big up Boots, and it's like, no, you don't got to do that.
But casuals don't do
another
that.
fighter to promote my guy. All I do is say my guy got a 93.33% knockout rate. My guy fought more champions than anybody you can name right now that they call in the face of boxing. My guy can fight on the back foot. My guy can go lateral. My guy can fight on the front foot. My guy got exception. He got an eraser. So even if you outbox him for 11 rounds, he can still knock your ass out in the 12th round. I can do that without even shitting on your guy. Nobody else can do that.
But body, them casuals, but body, you know that casuals love Boots because Boots bring that swag, he bring that excitement. To be honest with you, man, I talk to him all the time. They be coming at me, they be like, Boost this, Boost that. And my thing is, look, I give a man credit. They even try to compare him to my favorite fighter, Roy Jones Jr., but I say, get the fuck out of here. Sorry, I don't mean to cut. But get your ass out of here with that, with comparing him to Roy. He ain't Roy yet. He ain't did none of that. My thing is, with Boost, when they see Boost, they see that charisma and swag. But when it comes to Sebastian Fundora, you gotta crack that code. That man is 6'7". That man got reach. That man got some. He got. If you let up a little bit, Sebastian gonna put you out of there. Nobody in this world thought that Sebastian Fundora would be the man that stopped Keith Thurman.
Bro,
nobody.
La Bala Mendoza was the only one who cracked that code.
That's what I'm saying.
You have to see him his face too. He was because you have to get inside those punches and you have to go.
My thing. No, I ain't mean to cut you, but my thing, and I'm just jumping in. I'm getting in the mix. Yo, my thing. Booz, nobody demanded 154 until you get Sebastian out of there. That's just me. That's why I call him the dark horse. Like nobody want to give him the credit. But the thing is, you know what I'm saying? Like Sebastian, that guy, you get Sebastian out of there, 154 kind of wide open. But until he out of there, it ain't wide open. Not for me.
Right. So the thing is, like, even going into that Keith Thurman, me and AC was giving Keith Thurman the benefit of the doubt because of his IQ. I was like, okay,
me too.
I'll take somebody with an IQ. But see, when he got in there, he got touched, and this the most craziest thing about Fundora. That dude can crack, bro.
Yes.
And I'm telling you, he'll make you quit.
You look at it from the outside, looking in, like he can't, but like it's a thing with them long arm punchers. Like it's torque. It's just like when you put an extension, like as a mechanic, because I was in HVAC, but as a mechanic, you put a lug wrench on something, or you try to get that leverage and you can't get it, you got to put an extension bar on it. That's why Bud was so dangerous. That's why Mark Breland was so dangerous. That's why Deontay Wilder was so dangerous. When you got them long arms, you can generate that torque. That shit is extra. So that shit might not look like that, but when that shit touch you, that nigga had Keith Thurman going up against a southpaw. He had Keith Thurman circling over to the right. It's like, no, like, and my man D Calico, jump up here, D Calico, if you listening, man, because you ain't been up here in a while. But like my man D Calico said the same thing, and we don't talk all the time, but our boxing minds are lying. The first thing he said, he's like, man, bro. He said nobody would have thought that Keith Thurman would have been circling the wrong way. I said, that's what I was saying from round one. I said, you circling the wrong way. You don't go to the power. You know what I'm saying?
But
he didn't know what to do.
Way to move.
He didn't know what to do. He got touched and he didn't know what the fuck to do, bro.
Bro, and Fundora like to go toe to toe too. It's not like he just fight from the outside. If you get inside him, he gonna fight you toe to toe too. That's the problem.
That wasn't fun, but see, that wasn't Fundora from the beginning, because you know everybody been seeing what Fundora was gonna do since like 2019. And the thing was, Fundora, they always blamed it on his eyes where he couldn't see, so they always used to get that excuse that he fight in the pocket. But then once Fundora started using that range and start understanding that distance, that made him a monster. And he didn't start showing that until this year or maybe mid last year. But when he started doing that, I think it was after he fought Tim Tszyu, and his elbow hit Tim Tszyu on the top of the head. But he was trying to use the distance at first. But once Fundora start using that distance, start using that jab, Boost, man, he's a cheat code, man.
My hypothesis was it was after the cut. Right, that was the beginning of it. That's when he said it was after that cut, and they didn't stop that shit before the fourth round. That was like Tim Tszyu in his corner. I would have fired my corner after that, but that's why. But it was after that. But it was also, I'm gonna tell y'all the secret. It was after watching his sister, bro.
Yeah, it was after watching his sister.
Facts.
Learned from watching his sister, bro.
Yeah, because his sister's been in the corner a lot. Yeah, go ahead, my bad.
And maybe it was maybe this, because I had came on, I did a video and I said, listen, man, if Fundora fought like Hamza Shiraz, he would be damn near unstoppable. After that, I'm not giving myself no credit, but I know another content creator, right, who's a fucking Devin Haney motherfucking cuck. I'll say he's a cuck. You know what I'm saying? He came on and said the same thing. And I was like, man, yeah, if he start fighting more like Hamza Shiraz, fighting behind his jab and all that, he'd be damn near unstoppable. And goddamn it, he turned that corner and he started fighting like that. And I'm like, until the same thing you said, Swat, but I went to his fight, man. I bought tickets, I took my lady up there and everything. But until you see somebody crack that code, I gotta give Fundora the benefit of the doubt. It ain't no hate. It's just, it is what it is. He's been there. He's been at the division getting cracked. He got stopped. He been in wars. You know what I'm saying? He learned from them wars, and that shit count for something. Look at Zepeda. He did that shit with Shakur. Look at how he came out. Like, if that didn't happen, would he have made that adjustment? We don't know. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is.
Yeah, it
you right.
How you say Fundora is a problem. Doesn't matter how you see it. Okay, like from the outside, from the inside, from the lateral, doesn't matter. He got those long ass reach. Like you, if you fight Fundora, you know that you're gonna go to a freaking war. And if
And you know
wanna
what's crazy?
beat
He
him,
been knocked down before. And see,
yeah,
that's what I like about him too. He been hurt before. He been knocked out. Like he ain't worried about no L. When
And
he
that-
go in there, like he just seen the worst.
And
That's what
that's
make
what-
him dangerous, man.
And that's the point I was about to
My
bring
bad.
up.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, it's all right. That's the point I was about to bring up when because I was going to talk about, if you're going to try to come up with a game plan that looks like it may work, I would probably go back to look at the success Erickson Lubin had, but take this into the equation. This was before he started learning how to fight behind his jab. This is when he was being highly criticized for not fighting like the tall guy, giving away so many of your advantages. But the reason why I'm bringing it up is fighters have a tendency. They love to go back to what, they're most comfortable doing. You know what I'm saying? So if you can draw him into that, let's say if Boots fight him, I would say one of Boots' keys to victory is to draw Sebastian Fundora into the firefight. Now it'll expose you, but history has shown us that in that fire type situation, then the fight truly becomes 50-50. Because Fundora has shown he can be hurt. When Tim Tszyu learned how to get behind his jab for those couple of rounds before he got stopped the second time, he was catching the shit out of Fundora. Clean shots. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he was.
So there is just that small area and that small thing, and I have to say, time is not on these guys' side. So if all these people who feel they can beat him, you need to fight him now, like yesterday now. Because again,
Facts.
the more he learns, the more good looks he learns, the more he's getting comfortable with fighting behind his jab and learning how to fight tall. You're dealing with a guy that if he decides to go to 160, he's going to be the biggest threat at 54. And
Hell yeah, man.
You know what I'm saying? So that's just the downsides of trying to
AC.
Dora.
AC. No, I'm asking you, don't let him get some footwork.
Oh no,
Lord
no.
have mercy.
Then
Lord have mercy.
Don't let him learn how to roll. Like if he just learned that simple thing with how to roll, roll with a punch. If he learn how to roll with a punch, because I'm saying that he done paid the deductible on his chin insurance a couple times now, so I think his insurance, I think his numbers is going down. So I think that that chin is getting a little bit like you can't condition the chin, but the fact that he done got cracked, I think that he is learning from that.
Remember his chin is up there. Like you remember Punch Out, right? That is the little guy that has to jump to hit the big guy. That's how these guys look beside him because he's so tall. So when you're fighting, you're punching up. You're not punching. So you need to find his chin too, because his chin is not like right there for you to hit. You have to go up there, kind of jump to hit him. It's very difficult. Yeah.
And you gotta go through that propeller. You know how when Blade, like, cause in the army, you know, I was in air assault, so just a certain way you gotta approach that helicopter. So it's like if you don't approach them propellers right, you gonna get caught in the blender.
Yeah, I worked on F-14s. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Thank you, guys.
The punch for me, the one thing, if I was gonna say one thing I would love to see some Sebastian Fundora pick up and put in his tool case, footwork and that stuff, yeah, great. You being a tall fighter, you should be a master at the check hook, because you will stop anybody from getting to your chin with the simple check hook. I don't need some of the other stuff, but if I need to use it, I know how to use it. If I get hit and get hurt, then I will go to my footwork and stuff like that. But if he just learns the half step with the check hook, bruh, nobody can touch you, bruh.
CAC, I was getting ready to raise your check hook with a half step back, like you said it. If he learned that half step
it's
back,
real though,
man.
And know how to control that distance, that's beautiful. That is
Yeah.
beautiful. That's damn near unbeatable.
And that's
If you
why
can
I'm
do it.
saying, and that's probably why I think maybe all four of us are in agreement that if you're gonna beat Fundora, you're gonna beat him this year, a little bit into next year, but after that, forget about it. It's just not. It's gonna be the type of thing when he gets up in weight and he really gets one of those bigger guys who are really, really shrinking down that can crack. Right?
I'm gonna give the Boost fans something special. Boost is the only one I think that can give Fandora that kind of trouble to get him out of there. He the only one
think
in
so.
154. I think that.
I think so because of his offensive. Like he's like one of the most offensively gifted fighters in the game.
I agree.
You know, so my shot would be like cause like AC alluded to it. The game plan is to lull him into a firefight, but the only thing is once you get him into a firefight, you got to have chin insurance. Because
AC
that
be
shit
cooking,
don't be
man.
looking like
That's my
that
nigga.
shit. You be looking like you can get out of the way with it, but like he's starting to learn. Like, and that dude, like I'm trying to tell y'all, Fundora can crack. So I give Boots like offensively, he got the best opportunity to be able to do it because Boots gonna get his offense off. It's just that if he get caught, if he get lax, because I heard somebody on a major channel talking about. Boots, he keep his hands up. That's why blah, blah. I was like, well, what happened with Xander, who's not known as a puncher? Like if Virgil, if Xander, if any one of them other people like Jamel, like I don't care what y'all say, Jamel ain't my guy. You know what I'm saying? And you know, all respectfully, if Jamel catch you with that overhand right, with you being lax like that, it's over, bro. Like it's over. Like if Fundora catch you like that. If Fundora catch you the way Xander caught, it's over, bro. So
I ain't gonna lie about it.
Your best opportunity would be to lull him into a firefight if you can, and then you got to get your shit off. But if you get caught, oh my goodness.
Oh yeah.
Hey, Body, you know my under radar matchup who I want to see Boost against? Because I ain't gonna lie, like my thing is I need to see Boost more proven. Look, I like Boost because he, but he ain't got the best resume to me. And Boost fans be getting on me a lot about that. But for me, I want to see Boost against Brandon Adams. That's why I want to see him against.
Bro, you fought. That's why you fall right in. That's why I don't do. I used to do heavy content on Boots, but then I said, look, man, I gotta be in the vein of how I talk about boxing. When we put them all on the scale, we measure them. We're not gonna hide your indiscretions and say, oh no, and act like you know what I'm saying, like we saying something wrong because we criticizing you the same way we do everybody else. But the fact that you came in and saying what you saying, because guess what? I was saying, I wanted to see Brandon Adams against. I wanted to see Brandon Adams and Conwell. I want to see Conwell in Boots.
Man,
I want to see, and they lowball Conwell, bro. Man. I want to see that fight, bro.
Yeah. First, I want to see
sleeping on
Conwell. Right there.
People be sleeping on Brandon Adams, dog. Brandon,
yeah, definitely. And I got to say this, just to keep my consistency. I know I just gave a lot of praise to Fundora. I still don't like him.
Oh,
but I respect.
But that's fair though, AC.
I respect what he do in the ring, but I still just don't like him. And it's like I'm gonna keep it a beam. I'll be looking for fights and being like, okay, you gotta come, you gotta do this because if you're gonna beat this dude, this is what you need to do. So I'm a fan that respects what he does, but we'll be looking at his fight for the guys to beat him. And when he doesn't, it's like, look, this will be the happiest crow that I'll eat because it's like, yo, this nigga keep proving me wrong. He's like telling me, yo, AC, I hear you over there at Bodywork talking shit.
I rock with you, AC.
My praise, but shut
AC
it down.
spit his bun, man.
No, I respect that, but that's why I say that's why he my co-host, man, because he could do that. I could do that. I do the same thing with Devin. The same thing he do with Fundora, I do with Devin. But this is what I'll say, bro. I'm gonna be the first one to say this. With Fundora and Boots, we might be looking at one of the greatest trilogies of the modern era.
Absolutely, man.
Like if they said, look, man, we're gonna do a 3-fight deal, you know what I'm saying? Like whoever get 2 first, it's over. Sign me up. Take my money. I'll pay for it right now.
I wanna see Boots beating the crap out of Team Sue for real. Like I want to take him out. Team Sue.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah, I want to see him fighting him like for real because I
want to see Tim Zoo and Xander now.
Oh,
wanna
that one
see-
is a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I want to see Tellez versus Sander because I like what Tellez this versus Mendoza. Yo, Tellez fought Mendoza, la bala Mendoza, and he Mendoza broke Tellez' nose with a headbutt. I think in the second or third round, bro. Tellez found it inside of him and beat the crap out of him for like 12 rounds. Yo, that was his greatest fight, and with that nose destroyed. So I like what I saw about him in that fight.
I ain't gonna lie to y'all, man. My dream matchup, like right now, what I've really been bubbling to see, just from what I've been covering with, just my content, man. I want to see Keyshawn versus goddamn Norman.
Ooh, that one sounds good too.
I want to see it.
Keyshawn versus Norman, yeah, and I'm gonna talk about one that is being rumored. It's being rumored. Charles Conwell versus Virgil Ortiz.
Yeah, buddy, man.
Yeah, Mexican standoff body war. Whoever got the best, whoever equipped for the body work, man, is gonna win that one, boy. That's game busters.
Yeah.
I wanna see Tito, and I don't know if this gonna happen. I wanna see Tito and versus Polanco, man.
Yeah, or
That's a
Courier.
good one. That's a good one.
Or Courier too, because Courier put it okay fight versus Tucker. Yeah, Tucker is a very difficult boxer. He moves a lot. He's very Tucker. I think it was Tucker.
Oh, Jaha.
Yeah, no, wasn't Jaha? Wasn't Jaha Tucker?
Yeah, it's two. It's two. You got Jalil. You got Jahad. You got two.
Yeah.
No,
Jalil Hackett.
No,
Yeah, Jalil Hackett.
Yeah, it's Hackett. That's right.
Yeah.
It's Hackett. Yeah,
So you're talking about the same Tucker at
confuse them
160,
all the
right?
time. Yeah, I do.
Yeah,
Malazar.
that fought Courier.
Yeah. 160.
Last card, and he moved a lot. He's a great boxer. He's a very complicated boxer. I think Courier did what he had to, to win the fight, but he's very difficult. So
it was a little wide. You talking about Quentin Randall?
Was Quentin Randall?
It was Quentin Randall and Raul Courier.
Yeah, he just fight the other
Okay,
night.
but Polanco fought Randall too. Polanco fought him too.
Yeah, me and AC both said that Quentin Randall let that fight slip away, but the scorecard shouldn't have been that wide. That was an ugly ass scorecard, man. Somebody had it a draw, and then somebody had it to where Randall only won 1 or 2 rounds. I'm like, what fight were y'all watching?
2 rounds.
You know how that go.
Yeah, and because Courier was the young guy coming up, but like he kind of like a fake a Timu version of Benavidez, but he don't got that thing that Benavidez got. That's what I was saying with Curry. I was like, man, he might got a little bit of Benavidez in him, but he don't got the offensive creativity and the offensive.
That's what I want to see Polanco on him, because Polanco need a good name, and both guys fought the same guy. Both guys had some trouble with him, so I think they need to fight each other to see who's coming next. Because we cannot have these two guys fighting fights and they don't fight in each other, and they both got like 20 fights already. Okay. Yeah, it's a lot of fights out there that they need to keep creating,
I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna ask y'all opinion about this fight.
For a while, though.
I'm gonna ask y'all opinion about this fight right here. Tell me what you think, because I'm looking at the rankings and stuff like that, and we're talking about Polanco. What if Polanco bags a Barboza fight right now? What does that do for him?
Polanco versus Barboza. Oh yes, because Barboza have a name, and Polanco needs.
But he didn't lost. Nah.
Yeah, I'm just saying. See, Polanco's
no, go ahead. I'm sorry. I'm going.
I'm gonna say it like this, Swa. The reason why I brought up, and I'm gonna give you my reasoning now. The reason why I brought up Barboza, because Polanco just needs to start to build his name recognition resume. He needs names that people can identify with, regardless of some of the history and stuff like that. It's like, okay,
I know that name.
He could be you're talking about a young contender. So the young contender now, once you become a contender, it's all about the names. Yeah, you could still go after, the the smoke aspect of it, but if you can put the name and the smoke together, then you might have something that's really, really special there. And at the end of the day, I could say, all right, maybe give me a Polanco and a Tiger Johnson, but then some fans will say, well, that might be looking backwards because Polanco is yada, yada, yada. And it's still like, okay, but wasn't both of them coming up from 140?
Nah, they neck and neck.
You talking about Rohan, right?
Nah,
yeah.
They neck and
I
neck.
think Rohan need to get the win out of. I mean, if he wanted to make a name, if he wanted to make a name, you got to get the win out of Tio or Rolly.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is in between that, like me,
I got you.
I've always felt that Polanco versus Tiger Johnson is a crazy fight at 147.
I agree.
You feel what I'm saying? I think it's a fight that does well for both of them. But if he can't land that fight because you're already starting to see the way Tiger Johnson is moving and he's attaching his name to Devin Haney with the recent call out, you got the jump. So that might be history. So that's why I made the statement that some fans may downplay that fight, like looking backwards because he's already got Devin Haney lined up. For me, Polanco versus what's the name is a fight.
I got you. No, that makes sense. That makes sense.
AC,
huh?
Is Barbosa at 47?
Yeah.
Well, what about this, AC? I got one for you. How about Rohan versus Catterall?
Whoa.
Oh, that's a good one. That is a good one.
Because
Barbosa
is like a man. Barbosa, he can box, but I think that he is I can't say front runner, but he's like a.
Well, they got him labeled, fam.
I ain't gonna say a fake, but like he presents all of the whatever, but then he'll curl out. You know what I'm saying? I think he'll curl.
Well, they label him as flat-footed. They label him as flat-footed. Like anybody who beat him, like how they gave Tio that, they was like, well, he's flat-footed and you know what I'm saying? Like they put his style. Anyway, go ahead. I'm sorry, but I'm just saying. Yeah, they label him as that.
See me, Barbosa, he got Catterall, but like Catterall, he got a little bit of Tio in him where he fight up and down. Like he'll rise. And then he'd be like, damn, what happened in this fight? And then he'll rise. You know what I'm saying? But I like Catterall. Like, I like Catterall more than I like Barbosa. And Barbosa actually beat him. But, like, when Barbosa, if I saw Barbosa against a Polanco, it'll present a challenge because Polanco, for some reason, he got that thing, like that Keyshawn thing that I be thinking to where skilled boxers, like if you're a pure boxer, you can give him hell. You know, because he's trying to land his big one and he don't want to box with you. He don't take his time enough. You know what I'm saying? He got the power.
Yeah.
He got the power, but he don't take his time enough to pick you apart and break you down. He just want to land that big one and then round after round go by and he don't land it. And so it's like, damn, what did you do in the meantime? Dude was outpointing you. So that's why I say a more action-packed fight would be Catterall, because Catterall gonna bang on you. Catterall gonna swing, you know what I'm saying? And Barbosa, he'll keep his hand in his pockets like the whole time and just try to stay on the outside and pick and pop. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, y'all think that, you know, it's funny, like when I with Catterall, man, you know how he switched up and went to Bozy. Like, you think that what Bozy asking Catterall to do is too much for him? And that's just a question, just for everybody. Y'all think what he asking? Because when he was fighting the last time when he was with Bozy, it looked like Catterall was kind of hesitating on his original style. What do y'all think? Because that's what I thought. I was like, man, maybe Bozy asking too much of Catterall, but I don't know if he's still with Bozy though.
I think that's the one instance, and I do give Bozy a lot of heat because I see it just like Bomac. They be with that name brand shit, and then I pull out the resume and the fighters that he done been in the corner of, and it hasn't looked good outside of his star. But I think that I think he was a good addition to Catterall. Then the last time he fought, Bozy wasn't there.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember that. Yeah.
So I do think that he helped Catterall with sitting down on his punches, but I think that it's the natural progression of getting with a coach. To where
Bozy in the corner, fam.
2, 3, not the last one. Not that last one.
Maybe it was not, maybe it wasn't.
Not with Giasov, because I thought Giasov was going to outbox. Nah, Giasov, he put the Beats by Dre on Gear Soft without Bozy in the corner. But
you right, fam.
But I think that Bozy was a good addition because he got Catterall sitting down on the shit, and that's all I wanted from Catterall. But the thing is, I think it's gonna take maybe 1, maybe 2 more fights before we see Catterall be everything he gonna be, and we gonna really get the truth, because it's a little gelling factor, like to where you're thinking about what your new coach is doing and you're resorting back to your bad habits. But I think he helped him with his power. I think he helped him to sit down, because if he in the dungeon, he got to sit down and get a nigga up off him, because that Philly shit, you're gonna get well done. You know what I'm saying? If you can't get somebody up off you. So I think it was
bars,
a good addition.
hey, bars.
You know, I think it's a good addition, but I do think that people do give Bozy because of name, just like Bomac. I think because of name recognition, I think they do be like, oh wow, because like look at what happened with Torres and Sanchez. They're all, man, yeah, you know, he got Bomac, he got his ass knocked out.
Yep.
And nobody say nothing. Avius Griffin, he got his ass knocked out by Hammerhands. You know what I'm saying? When you look at Fulton, he got outboxed and got belted ass by O'Shaquie Foster. So it you know what I'm saying? So it's like I pick and choose my battles because I don't be wanting to talk about them because people getting their feelings, and I'm like, I'm just talking about facts. I ain't talking about your feelings.
Man, this body work.
I got a question for you then. I got a question for you. Within the theme of tonight's show, would you put, like, where would you put Catterall in that Dark Horse project? Is he filling out his application? Are you reviewing his application, or you're giving him a trial run? Like
he could have got swapped out.
Okay.
He could have got swapped out, because I think, you know what? As much as I didn't want it before, like that Devin and Catterall, I didn't want it before because I thought, okay, look at you. You were the top him out killer. Because remember, after Jose Ramirez, Bill was out here campaigning hard as fuck after he seen Catterall and Barbosa. Because remember, Devin wanted Barbosa before, when T.O. fake retired. Devin wanted Barbosa. And T.O. was like, hold up, fuck no, man, I'm back. Like, and then that conversation was dead. And then after he seen Barbosa did what he did to Catterall, they was at the top of Mount Kilimanjaro screaming for Catterall. And I was like, nah, man, fuck that, I don't want it. But now that he went to 47 and they at 47, that's a fight I didn't want before, but I would love that fight now. Why? Because I think Catterall might bust his ass. Like, Catterall might, so he is a legitimate dark horse. He really is. Like, that's why I say it'll be another fight under Bozy. He have Bozy in the corner. It'll be another fight with him. He got confidence after fighting a boxer with power like Gilsov, even though he don't got 1 point knockout power. But Gilsov got some skills, and he made Gilsov put his hand in his pockets early. I'm like, Catterall got some hot shit in the midst. I knew that ever since he fought Josh Taylor. I was like, damn, that nigga got robbed, man. He got robbed that first fight. So I would love to see. Like, I would like to see Catterall, put it like that. I would like to see Devin and Catterall more than I would want to see Devin and Liam Paro. Because Paro is just Cambosa's 3.0. That's all that is. That's Cambosa.
That's why I like talking boxing with y'all, man. We be talking really want to fight, man.
Yeah, this is why they're going to probably try to rebuild that fight, let lightning strike in the bottle twice by doing Paro down in Australia again. So y'all
got me thinking, man. Y'all got
all the glory, because I went to Australia and
he's gonna pick your guy. You picked your fight. Yeah, it's gonna be a repeat. So Australia is a good home for Devin Haney. They'll probably welcome him back to Australia and stuff like that. Devin Haney versus Paro in the midst of Earl versus Tim Tszyu. Yeah, it can kind of make sense to the business side of it. Yeah, it's kind of ugly, but it makes sense for Devin Haney right now. This is a rebound fight. It's, I was trying to chase the bad chick. I thought I was going to get into bed. I kind of went through to her crib that night, and everything was all good till Shorty told me she had her monthly friend, so we couldn't get it on. But I ain't really interested in that chick no more. So he's
But
trying to go
AC,
to the bar and try to just pick up a thotty or somebody that he can hurry up and take home. So that's kind of the way I'm looking at the power.
Y'all got me thinking, man.
but AC, man, like this is what I was trying to say. That enigma that they got around Devin, it's like we can't look at this like this on rebound. Like, yeah, you get brownie points for making Keyshawn, you know, y'all was playing chicken and he swerved. But like, bruh, we cannot let this man off the hook to go pick somebody that we don't really want to see under the guise of a unification, because you wasn't legacy before.
Fact.
You wasn't legacy when it came to Ryan. You wasn't legacy when it came to Roller. You wasn't legacy when it came to Tank. Now Keyshawn, he cur out, and now you legacy again. Like, make up your mind, bro.
I ain't gonna lie. For me with Devin Haney, man, like, you know what's crazy? Like, if you price yourself out, if you want too much money, and then you asking for the bigger pot every time, and people fall out, I'm not giving that as people that ducking you or that you got greatness. Your value, you think your value higher than what you think. That's what I think about Devin. Like, people falling out because you ask for too much money. And the thing is, when people fall out, you gonna call them a duck, and you say, "Nah, fuck that. You ain't worth what you say you're worth, and you can't say." Go ahead. Yeah. That's how I feel about Devin.
Because look, the Haney voice was never talking about how you gonna say this man was pitching the fit. How you gonna say he ain't worth $12 million when he got it? Bro, I was like, hold on, bro. And I don't even do this. It was another channel that got into this, and they put it out there. They said they put his business out there and said, hey, this man making $5 million a year, bro. So all that 12 million, that shit, unless he lied to the courts and got, like, I don't know what he got, he inside, whatever, unless he lied, that man been making $5 million, bro. So all that shit, he was pitching a hissy fit, talking about how you gonna say he ain't worth 12 and blah blah. Okay, well, his first bid was bid at how much? 8? Right, so that was the market correction right there. So that's I've been on this SWA. I got videos about this SWA, about this man and his value before Turkey even entered the picture, bro. This man has been infamous for attaching his name to certain fighters and then go fighting somebody. Like, he attached his name to Mr. Gary Russell. He already had Gamboa in the bag. He attached his name to Tank. He already gonna fight JoJo Diaz. He attached his name to Tank. He gonna go fight Loma. He attached his name to Loma. He gonna go fight the Narez. Like, I know this shit like the back of my hand.
Hey, buddy,
like, your work is not what you think it is, bro. Just because you get a dummy, just because you got somebody that's gonna trick off and give you that bag, thinking that whatever, and they got it to lose. Tricks got it to lose. Like, that Lil Wayne shit, he changed the game when he said it ain't tricking if you got it. And I had to sit back and say, hold on, man. It's still tricking. It's just that you got it. You know what I'm saying?
But no, not on my channel. I ain't gonna, you know, I ain't trying to do that. But on my channel, like, because I be on Shakur ass. And the thing is, I be giving Devin credit for what Shakur doing. But I'm not, like, I be telling him, I'm not a Devin fan. Because I see what they doing over there. I said, like, years ago, they little business plan or business plan gonna collapse. Because he ain't worth what these promoters want to pay. And the thing is, now, the casuals don't even understand that. So then every time that somebody duck out or the fight don't fall through, you know what I'm saying? They be saying that, okay, well, they ducking. No, nigga, who wanna? Hey, man. Anyway, I get what you're saying. Like, I'm not. Anyway, the business plan, the business structure is gonna collapse. Turkey gone, and that's how I feel about Devin, man. Nobody want to take that shit that they giving right now. Nobody.
Hey, but I don't know why I don't get your alerts, man. I swear I subscribe. I don't get your alerts. I'm growing. To be honest with you, the channel just started blowing. So, man, I still gotta learn how to clip videos and shit. I still gotta send my ID to pin somebody comment. Yo, I didn't even expect it to blow like that, fam. I'm just, you know what I mean? I just got tired of being in the chat all the time. So I started my own channel. That's why I started my channel. Because I was like, man, I got tired of being abused. I was in some major peoples, and it was good when I was saying, oh, you cooking. But the minute I said, hold on, man, according to what I seen, that ain't right and exact. It's like, oh, time this nigga out and black. I was like,
Yeah,
oh, really?
me too.
And that's why I started my shit. That's the only reason why I even got a channel, because people started. I was like, nah, bro, I'm not a yes man. And I'm with you when you right, I'm with you. But when you wrong, I'm gonna say something.
Me
bro.
too. They was timing me out, fam. I was getting blocked.
Yep.
Like, man, it was just anyway. But that's why I started. But man, I got your email, so I'm gonna keep you posted to my progress in this motherfucker.
Yeah, because we will support you. We'll help you grow. We'll, you know what I'm saying. We'll get you over the hump.
I appreciate it.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it'd be my pleasure. But the only thing is, man, a lot of times, man, it's so many channels. I could name the names where I done told maybe, oh, you need your own channel. You need to do this only for them niggas to blow up. And then I'm in the comment. They reading the comment above me, the comment below me. I'm like, oh, so you one of them type niggas. Like, it's a couple niggas, the major names that you know.
Yeah.
Where I was like, man, you good. You need it before they even had shit. And then they get
tough, man.
On, and then they start acting like all brand new and shit.
I ain't gonna lie, fam. That like when I first came on here with y'all, man, that's when I started mine. But you know what was crazy? I understand loyalty in this thing now. I understand what it means, because like everybody can talk their shit out here and they can do whatever they saying. But if you wanna grow your own channel, man, it's not easy. So you gotta, you gotta learn etiquette with this shit. You gotta learn how to talk, but you gotta also learn how to network. And it's not easy, man. So now I got your email. You one of my day ones, and that's what I call you and AC. And me and AC been knowing each other for about goddamn 2 years. But y'all like my day ones with this, because man, it's a whole different world when it comes to that. Anyway, that's a whole nother thing. But anybody like starting out their channel, man, look, you can talk that shit in that comment. You can put all that shit, but start your own channel and see what we going through. Then you'll know.
Yeah, people will refuse to support you. People will.
For sure.
I've seen people.
They'll steal your shit too.
People, bro, listen. I've seen people super chat other people for shit that they know they heard here first. But they'll somebody will come on in and say some shit they heard here today. They gonna super chat them tomorrow, and they won't even like the video right here. You know what I'm saying? So I just going to cut. That's why I called it 300, because you know how the 300 is. It don't take 1,000 million. It only take a 300, like where we solid all the way around. That's why you fit right on it. Melazar, he speak his stuff. He take his stances. He's solid. You ain't gonna get Melazar to move if he stand. And that's what we like. Like Melazar ain't a yes man. You ain't a yes man, but y'all know y'all shit. That's why when y'all come on, y'all fit right in. Like y'all be saying shit to where it's like, I'm glad. Like some of the stuff you said earlier about the unified champion 154, I'll be wanting to say it, but I said I'm gonna lay off of it because I don't want people to think I'm hating. You know what I'm saying? But I just can't be biased. It's like I'm not gonna be that one where you can say, oh man, body, because even when Lamont Roach and Tank had their thing, you can ask AC what I said and how I stood tall and say, hey, nah, man, my dog was off, bro. Like, nah, man, by the letter of the law, man should have got that. You know what I'm saying? Like that's my man. Like, I'm the biggest Tank fan on the planet probably. And I'm in Baltimore, but I'm not going. You know what I'm saying? I'm not. That's why the game.
I ain't gonna lie. That's why I rock with y'all 100 grand, fam. Like I'm telling you, man. Like Shakur fans can't stand me because like my videos, man. Hey, man. I'll be honest, but anyway, man. I don't want to carry on, but like when we peas in the pie with this shit. I understand what it is. I do.
Care, guys.
No, don't go to bed, man. Don't go to bed. Anyway, go ahead. I'm sorry.
But salute the man that's out here working, man. Man, like this is season. So in the wintertime, when it like in the fall and the winter, he'll be on more and stay. But like summertime, he work outside. He work with the plants and the trees and all that kind of stuff. So he be.
I like him though. I think he's dope.
30. You know what I'm saying? He be up. He probably be up about as early as me. I'll be getting up at 5 something, but he probably be up just as early. But he be out there in that sun working all day.
Hey, salute to you, Malaza. Man, I'm gonna learn how to say his name. You're Malaza. Yeah, I fuck with him though. He cool as shit. Go ahead though. We just ran with the whole grind. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, just stay true, Swag. It don't matter, because I see some people with the amount of popularity and all that, they start thinking that they gotta cater their message toward this. And I see, I'm telling you, like, okay, some names I can name. I could tell you. I was talking to I used to think that AC be watching them sometimes. Showbiz. I used to watch Showbiz faithfully. I was
Did y'all
one of the
hear
ones
what
saying
happened to him though
showbiz.
with Shakur?
I was saying showbiz, bro. That shit you do with your eyeballs, man. When you first come on, I said, man, the way you were when he first came on, I said that shit is genius. And then I saw him change. And then one day he was like, he was going to go see Mike Tyson. The weekend after he went to go see Mike Tyson, this nigga just totally flipped, bro. And I told him about himself. I said, man, see, the difference between me and you is like, you sold out, bro. Like, you don't have to do that. Like, what you were doing was genius. If you would have just stayed in that vein, you was gonna get what you get, and your people the people that rock with you was gonna rock with you regardless. He was like, well, obviously you know more than me. We'll see how it work out. And so he went on. You see where he at now, right? But I told him straight up. I said, man, you didn't have to do that to get to where ultimately you was gonna get anyway. And so, like, once I see that you compromise, I don't fuck with you no more. Like, that's just one. Like Greg Hackett. I told this man before he even had a channel, when he was over on YSM, I said, man, bro, your boxing mind is genius. Blah, blah, blah. You gotta do this. That nigga be shit. Like, that nigga started doing shit like rebuttaling me. I had an according to my old head. He started doing shit, rebuttaling me, and then doing like, I'll come out with a video, he'd come out and do an anti-video, and I'm like, okay, so now you acting brand new. And then so when I shit on you from now on, don't act like this came out of nowhere, because I bigged you up. There's so many people that I've done that to, and I'll stop right there. That's just two names, but it's several names where I did that, and then now they act like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's another guy where Coach Calvin. Coach
I know
Calvin
what you're saying.
used to watch my shit. Coach Calvin used to watch my shit. Coach Calvin was doing an interview with this dude, McDonald's. He was doing an interview with McDonald's 2 times, and I heard my shit playing in the background, because I used to have a distinctive intro. I heard my shit playing in the background. This dude used to beg me before he blew up. He getting all these interviews with Schofield and all these. This dude used to beg me to come over to his channel, bro, before he even had a channel. So that's why I say, man, you're not gonna move me. Like me, I'm the Lloyd Banks of this shit. Like, yeah, I could be Drake, I could be 50, I could be sensational, I could blow this shit up if I wanted to. Nah, I'm not gonna sell out like that.
But
I'm
you
not
just
gonna
need to
say
squad.
anything.
Like, you got the bet. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. Cause I ain't want to cut you off, but man, I understand, man. That's the thing. That's why I'm glad I'm starting my channel, man. It's a different thing doing what you're doing, man. Like, to be honest with you, man, when I hit 500 subscribers, man, I was super happy, man. And what's crazy, everybody I uplifted, like, man, I used to be in True Media chat. I used to be in KC chat. I used to be in everybody chat. AC, no, I was everywhere. And what's funny, man, when I'm doing what I'm doing now, man, you don't see none of them. But the thing is, it's like, yo, from the mud is better, man. From the mud is better, man.
Exactly. And you just said a name. You just said one of them names, right? I was rocking with him. He was rocking with me. But then he'll hit some shit over here, do a late night joint, and then do a show tomorrow and say the only one talking about this is me and and KO. I'm like, bruh, you literally just sat there and listened to this shit last night, bro. Like y'all don't. All right, bro.
Hey, even
use
your verbatim and everything, but since you
verbatim, bro.
Verbatim.
So just stay swat. Just don't change, bro. Like, and the thing is, see, learn from me, because contrary to popular belief, I don't have hundreds of people in here and watching or whatever, right? My shit come over time, because this is a hardcore channel, so that most of the people it's not gonna be casual. These are other content creators and other people in the industry that's watching them. So them 200 are heavy hitters in the game. You gotta look at it like that. Like, so you might not get it to where you got 70, 80, 100, not, you know what I'm saying, 500, 200 people in there, right? But the people that you gain, you're gonna keep them as long as you don't change.
I can tell, man. I wish Mac was AC no Mac, man. I wish he was still around, man. Like, man. Anyway, man, I know what you're saying, buddy, man. Like, it's a different kind of vibe, bro, for sure. But I'm not using this platform for that, man. I'm just talking boxing, man. But like, I relate to content creators now, like, in that way, man, because I'm starting from the bottom, and it's a different kind of thing, bro. It is.
Yeah, you can support. I used to say it all the time. I said, man, it's cool when I'm saying, yeah, you cooking and giving my super chats, and you know what I'm saying, and you know, helping out and giving ideas and all that. But the minute I say, nah, hold on, man, I don't agree. Oh, well,
yeah, you don't
fuck out of here. Like one major dude, he would co-sign everybody on the fucking planet but me. But because I called him out and said, nah, bro. Now here, every new person, every whatever, and then this nigga done got up. I used to do shows in the morning. This nigga get up and do my whole. I used to do shows at night. The nigga get up and do my whole show in the morning.
Verbatim, dog.
Verbatim, bro. Like using my terminology and everything. And I said, you know what? That's just because I must be a threat. I must pose a threat. You know, I said I'm not gonna sit on Santa Claus lap. I don't get down like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I like that shit. I'm stealing that shit. I'm stealing that
know
shit.
what I'm
Like, I don't sit on Santa Claus lap.
I ain't sitting on Santa Claus lap, bro. You know what I'm saying?
AC, I'm surprised your ass ain't got your shit jumping, man.
I told AC.
Do.
That's why I tell AC need to be a co-host over here, because AC ain't gonna start this stuff. I said, so I'll give him carte blanche over here, and he got his little segment. It's time for another segment.
AC dope, man.
But that's why I told AC, I said, man, you need your own show. But AC be having a lot of other shit going on. I said, man, you need your own show. But since he ain't want to do it, I said, man, shit, you can co-host over here and whatever
that's
you want to talk about. If you
man.
want a segment of your own, you can have it, because AC need his own shit. I've been told him.
Yeah, he do, man. Hey, AC, when the first time we met, what was it, like 2022 or something like that?
Yo, it was at least a year and a half, maybe 2 years before Errol and Bug fought. What was it wasn't B-Max channel, it was the other dude who said he had the warehouse.
Oh yeah.
It was on his channel we had met. You feel what I'm saying? Because it was all of that Atlanta connection and shit like that. You feel what I'm saying? And that's where I first saw you in the comments, and then you pulled up to one of the jump balls, and then we got together on Max channel and shit like that. But shit, it's almost been it's been at least a year and a half, maybe 2 years before
it's been a minute.
Bud actually fought. You feel what I'm saying? And we would go back and forth on certain things. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Especially like Shakur and Devin Haney stuff, we would go back and forth on.
Yo, AC be like, you fucking listen to him. I need to listen to him.
But you know, at the end of the day, let me say it like this. There is something that I'm mulling over and I'm actually working on as far as starting my own channel. And what I'd like to do is just get over this work hump that I'm doing right now, because it takes up all my mind, and I really have to be in that frame of mind. You feel what I'm saying? Just like a weed smoker says, I need the right head to get this stuff done. So once it's done and it's all sent off, don't be surprised, because at the end of the day, the theme that I've always been talking about, the devil in the details, that's a real thing. It's a really real thing. This avatar is my drawing. This was something that I actually was printing on t-shirts and stuff like that.
I'm subscribing for sure.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm just right now just looking at how I want to present it, because once I present it in the format that I'm going to use to present it, it's going to give me a lot of subscribers, because people are just going to be like, wait a minute, yo, that shit is crazy. I've never seen that before. And the way it's structured with the background art and yada, 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 it all works and it makes sense. So I felt that once Body gave me that opportunity to just frequently spotlight over here, it's given me the lessons that I need. You feel what I'm saying? To get it together. Because when I'm online and I talk boxing, unless you actually hear me talk about food, you can see that there's a difference, and I'm trying to get that same consistency of talking without using the awkward pauses and saying, you know what I mean, and things like that a million times. I just want to be able to, deliver my idea in the format that I want to deliver it, and it be consistent, but it still has that personal effect to it. And
man, Bobby, you got the perfect co-host. AC, you the chef, man. You my dog.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, I'm
real.
always gonna take the perspective that I bring from the restaurant industry. Like I say 1,000 times, I get what these boxers are doing, because being a chef and being a chef of color, you're going through the same thing. The big major joints don't really want to invest in you unless you have some stellar name and you're doing all of this, or you're playing the game with the right color wife, and you feel what I'm saying, and your enunciations are where they need to be, so the suits feel comfortable with you. If the suits are not comfortable around you, you're not going to get there. You're not even going to be invited to be in the same room with them, because they just don't feel comfortable around you. So with that being said, I never was that dude to compromise myself. If you don't want me around you, okay, I'm going to show you that you will want to be around me. And that's kind of the way I'm approaching things. And this is why
you got a brother in me, AC, for sure.
Yeah, I'm thinking with the next jump off, I might roll it out just for a couple of minutes, just to see people's reactions and just to watch Body's reaction and stuff like that, and see how it goes. And if everybody likes it and likes the format, then it's like, all right, now I'm gonna take my pause, build up my cachet, and then launch this thing the way I really, really want to. Or I might just pause and just launch it the way I really, really want to.
Man,
I'm gonna say this.
Body dope. Body let everybody come up here and spit they shit, man. Body, hey man, ain't no word to say, you know, what I feel about Body with this, man. So no, go ahead, Body. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna say this, man. The best advice I can give, man, is it's just like working out. If you gotta start off with the 5-pound dumbbells, if you gotta start off with the 2.5, you gotta start off with the 5. Just be consistent. It's almost like taking the steps. Everybody want to take the elevator, right? And I see when people be good with the 5s, then they be good with the 10s, then they get to the 15s, then they get to the 20s, they get to the 25s, and then they want to take the elevator. Next thing you know, they jumping with the 100-pound dumbbells. It's like, nah, bro. Be comfortable with taking the steps. Why? Because you don't want to do what everybody else is doing. Because that's one thing. That's why I would say I'm not Lloyd Banks of this shit, not the Drake of this shit. Because I could be the Drake of this shit with the creativity and the artwork, and I could be salacious, but like, no, you got to know your lane and be content with your lane and let it grow organically. That's why I always remind AC. I be telling AC offline, I say, hey, bro, we still getting subscribers. Like, we still, like this month, we still got 17. Like, every time that last digit, that it might be 1 point, whatever, that last digit, that shit is always moving up. Every 20 days, that shit is moving up. So we always gain subscribers. It's just because we're sticking in our lane. We're not trying to do, I'm not trying to do what Coach Malachi doing. I'm not trying to do what Ego doing. I'm not trying to do what Fanon doing. I'm not trying to do what KO doing. I'm doing what Bodywork do. You know what I'm saying? And even though it look appetizing and like, oh man, I want to jump in that lane, I want to do this, I could do a little bit of that, I could do this and that. No, just stay in your lane. And the people that's going to rock with you, it's going to come organic, and they're never going to leave. And once you going to look up and you're going to be like, damn, I got all these subscribers and they rock with me and it's love and they know that I'm real to myself, I never had to change. That's a beautiful feeling. That's the thing. But this is OG right. Cass. Let's talk about OG. I be one OG.
Let's go.
OG, you gonna have to jump up here one time, OG. But OG say his oh man. Look at OG.
Yeah,
Mortaya, Hirioka, Stan Giannis, and Mel.
Was he saying Stanley on there? He was saying Stan.
Yeah, Stan. Man, that's what I'm talking about. Hirioka. Definitely a dark horse.
Can't believe I didn't bring up Hirioka. Wow.
I didn't even bring. I know I didn't.
Shame on me. As much as I talk about Hirioka, I didn't bring him up because I would probably say this. I probably didn't bring him up because I may be taken for granted that the boxing world really notices him now because of, even though he lost, he still put on like, yo, that performance was stellar. You feel what I'm saying? In those rounds that he started to fight back and then go with that vicious body attacks, those were some of the best rounds. Those had me standing up like, whoa, whoa, whoa. But Gary showed that he is really that guy.
You got snuffed by.
I'm mad I didn't bring up standing illness. Go ahead,
you got snuffed by the hitman, AC. Because I was wondering why, and this is what they did, AC. Peep this. Right after that fight, they came on and started shitting on Gary. Oh, nah, man, Gary ain't blah, 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 and Gary. But I was saying, man, who was there to challenge you? Say, okay, so we gonna see Shakur against Hirioka now? Let Shakur raise his hand and say here, but you would never. You didn't even hear. Cause listen, I heard Coach Malachi and them shitting on Keyshawn, and I said, hold on. Just the other day you was all with the shits. And now you trying to cook him for the WBO, put them at number one, but y'all didn't say nothing when they put him at number one. Y'all wait till after the fact on some hindsight 2020 shit to try to call this man out. I like, what about? I said, and now y'all are supporting Devin Haney with this Leon Paro shit, and that fight is trash. I was like, but because it's unification, y'all gonna get behind it because it fits your criteria. I said, but where are the videos with Shakur campaigning for Gary Antoine and unification? I said, never mind, there are none. And I just left the chat because right after that fight, right, the hitman, Tim Bradley, he put a hit out on that. That's why he shushed it. He just like Chris Mannix poured water over the Oshaki and Shakur fight. Tim Bradley came right on and poured water all over Hirioka in that performance because it was Gary Russell, aka PBC guy. That's why people ain't talking about Hirioka, but let your favorite fighter say, all right, I'm gonna get ready to fight Hirioka. People gonna be like, oh shit, and watch them bet nods. Watch them bet nods. But that shit.
I remember when Bradley showed up for the first time trying to do
Shakur probably don't even say, other than saying hi, he'll never even pronounce he won't even get to the R in Hirioka.
Shakur would have took a knee in that Hirioka body attack. He would have took a kney. Like
Shakur don't want to fight nobody, man.
Yeah, he don't want to fight Hirioka. I know.
No, go ahead. No, go ahead. AC, I'm gonna cut you off.
No.
Shakur just is full of shit to me.
But you touched on something, Swai. This is the point I've been trying to make, man, and this is a perfect spot to do it. This is my golden question to everybody out here. I want you to put on your thinking caps, and I want you to ask yourself: if Shakur Stevenson broke the bank, like so this is the same. Let's just say it's comparable. No, this is actually better, according to the powers that be. This is actually better than the deal that Bud got, where he was getting $10 million guaranteed, right? This is better than that. So let's just take Bud and set that off to the side. You already got the money, bro. You already one of the highest paid guys out there. So if it don't matter if you fight King Kong or you fight Ned Flanders, how come there are so many people that you won't fight as opposed to what you will? Because listen, right now we like Jermaine Dupri and Jay-Z. Money ain't a thing.
Come on,
so
man.
money ain't a thing. You already taken care of. Why are all these caveats and all these crossroads and all these barriers between you fighting whoever? Because you're already paid, right? So money ain't the thing. But now you're being selective still. How is that, yo?
This my quote, and I'm gonna say it, and I've been saying it every time. I don't see the desire for greatness. I see the desire for protection. I've been saying that for 2 years. Shakur don't want smoke. 25 fights, 25 wins, 11 KOs. Your best win is Teofimo Lopez, and you shitting on him even though he lost to Cambosa. That's my thing with Shakur. I do not see greatness. I just don't. That's me. I'm gonna let it AC, but that's me. That's me.
It's crazy to me hearing Swat talk like this because Swat know some of those channels we've been on together, we can't see shit like this about Shakur. we'll have the whole panel like, what you mean? Nah, Swab, you tripping. You feel what I'm saying? So, I'm just teasing the big homie. I hope everything is good with him and everything like that. But at the end of the day, man, we know for an absolute fact that we've been on some heavy Shakur type panels, and
For sure.
At the end of the day, it's like we have to pick and choose our battles when we want to say those negative things, or we have to move in pairs to be able to say some of the negative things and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, man, I'm happy to see you. You got your own channel. What's it actually called? So could I just hit the link of your name and it'll
for sure. It's just Swat Jones. It's Swat Jones, and then you pull it up, you'll see my icon. Click on the icon, then all right, my videos will come up. Yeah,
definitely. So for me, at the end of the day, where some of these content creators are, where we're talking about, the things that we're talking about as far as the dark horse. Now, here's the thing, Swa. Keep an eye and ear open. They may change the term dark horse, but they're going to talk about, it may come in stuff like who's the potential boogeyman, who's moving like the boogeyman, who's the guy that people don't want to fight. So it's going to be some sort of synonym type title and stuff
For
like
sure.
that. That's going to piggyback off this type of cook right here, because while the rest of the boxing is dead and everybody's just still focused on the salacious stuff about boxing and stuff like that, you're seeing guys on their third day talking about Keyshawn Davis ducking and Shakur and Zuffa and all of that. Okay, it does have a place, but at the end of the day, a topic like this, the topic that we did yesterday, talking about Moses and Talma, all of that stuff is going to start to age well, because when you go back and watch that face-to-face with Moses and Talma and Philip Hergovich, you might walk away like, yo, I hope Moses and Talma just sleeps the shit out of Herkovich, because you're being highly disrespectful. Like,
AC.
You're just saying he's a kid that don't know nothing.
AC.
Go ahead.
Bro.
Yeah.
Bro, go to the Ring magazine, bro. Go to the Ring. If you hear the sound of my voice, go to the Ring magazine right now, and then go look at what their topic was. Cause we did this the other day. We did the Itama with the thumbnail with Mike Tyson. Go look at what the Ring was saying just yesterday and today. And then also for OG Cass. Bro, OG Cass. I've seen Teddy Atlas and the Ring magazine doing what you've been doing, bro. Bro, I was about to say, you know, sometimes I send that shit to you, AC, just between us, and I be like, look at this shit, AC. Like, so you won't be thinking I got the big head, but yo, they doing the Mike Tyson, the whole ordeal, bro. Like yesterday and today, bro. Like, go look at don't take my word for it. Go look at the Ring magazine right now. Go look at their little poster they do, and go look at the titles and look at who they got. Most of the time, Mike Tyson and all this shit, right? And then go look at what the Ring and Teddy Atlas did versus what OG Cass be doing. The 10 greatest fighters, blah, blah, blah. Go look at what they doing, bro. That's why I say, man, you can't go by numbers, bro. Like, just because you might be somebody, you might be sitting around, you might go over to OG Cass, you might see 4 people. That don't mean that people ain't watching that shit eventually, and people ain't drawing ideas. They not just gonna give the credit, because that's what they do. They usurp you of your abilities. But don't take my go look at the Ring and go look at everything they saying about Moses Thomas, and look and see what pops up after the day before yesterday, after Tuesday when we did that segment on Tuesday. Go look at what they saying. You'll be shocked.
Yeah, and that's,
you'll be like, damn, homie.
And that's the thing that we're basically talking about. It's like, okay, the big guys want to skate along the surface, but we have select specific mining equipment that we can dig deeper than the surface conversation, and then pull up some gems, some precious oil, some natural resources. We can keep doing it because at the end of the day, sometimes, you know, it's a type of situation where we may be talking about something, but it sparks a whole new different type of conversation that at the end of the conversation we're like, yo, that might be a good topic to cook on. And for some reason it's like Body's like, yeah, I got the thumbnail for that already. You feel what I'm saying? So all I'm saying is this: some of these smaller channels that are really not moving towards the same algorithm type talking points and wanting to play the algorithm, we're playing the boxing information. We're playing the information game while other people are playing the algorithm game. So if we can get out the information, guess what then that does? It then starts to pick up the algorithm based on the bigger channels moving that conversation forward. So yeah, it becomes frustrating because at the end of the day, you know, Body has to, you know, come up with the cheddar for this to do the lives and stuff like that. You feel what I'm saying? And the people who are listening, or, you know, say, you know what, I'm not going to pull up to the live, I'm going to pull up to the playback. At the end of the day, pull up to the live, send that man his little cash app, and then you could dip out and then watch the replay. But in real time, support the channel. And that's all he's asking. That's all I'm asking as the co-host. Just support the channel in real time. You feel what I'm saying? If you're listening, or you're like some channels try to say, oh, there's going to be X amount of people sneak listening and stuff like that. Doesn't matter long as they listen. Long as they understood the content. And sometimes they're just going to be these vultures that's going to steal it. So
yeah, that's why I started switching the message, and I started telling myself, I was like, man, look, man, it's not boxing credit. What's boxing credit? Boxing credit ain't worth shit. It's all about the message. And so I'm like, oh, okay, the message is getting out there. So I got solace in knowing the message is getting out there. But you can go back, you can go look at the Lamont Roach and Zepeda build up, and you'll hear the instrumentals I've been using on this channel on that build up. That's why I was like, man, it's no coinky dink that they be doing that. It's like, y'all didn't use that instrumental before. They've been doing that for years now. Like Chris Algieri my whole BAM situation, Fireworks, he stole that whole shit. Paulie, he be stealing, like, so it's like, man, like, you gonna have to get used to that too, Swa. Like, it's gonna be frustrating as hell, because it's like, damn, they gonna take, but it's like they look at it like it's a rite of passage. Like, oh man, I'm gonna rough this little nigga off. But you just gotta keep taking the stairs, bro. You gotta get up and do that shit. Like set your schedule. If you can't, don't set a schedule to where I'm gonna come on every day and it's gonna be, no, don't do that. Be reasonable and then crank it up as necessary. But you gotta be dogmatic, knowing that if you don't get an ounce of credit, if you hear your shit everywhere, you still gonna get up because you just love talking about this shit and just do it. That's what I do. So even today, I wasn't gonna do it because I didn't know if AC was gonna be. I hit him up and he ain't hit me back. So I was like, well, this might be one of them ones where I might have to do it by myself. And I was like, man, I can't lead the 300 because I only come on every other day. I'm not out here like these other guys all day, every day. I could be, but like for what I do, I'm not gonna touch everything. I'm not gonna, you know what I'm saying? So you gotta know your lane and just be dogmatic. No matter how much you see people biting, stealing, taking, like mimicking, you know what I'm saying, emulating, imitating. Just keep doing you. You know what I'm saying?
You know what,
and shrug that shit off and keep marching forward.
I black out, man. Like I be wanting to, like, the more comments that I get in my comments that don't like what I'm saying, I know I'm working, because I black out. When I go on that, man, it be for me. You know what I'm saying? It be for me, and I don't be doing it for nobody else, because I know who rock with me, who don't, and I don't need no fugazi. I don't care about y'all. Like, I ain't worried about that. Like even that's why I come on here, because I know I can speak my mind. You might think different. AC might think different. I don't want nobody who just a yes man on my team at all. So like when I go in there, I black out because I'm doing it for me, man. I handle business. I take care of my son, man. I do shit. I ain't got. I do shit for other people my entire day. When I get on there and speak my mind, I'm not doing it for people to be on my team and agree, man. We talking boxing, and if you go outside of boxing, I'm like, man, yo, you obviously don't have nothing to do with your motherfucking life, because we talking about boxing. But I don't go everywhere no more. Like that's why I rock with y'all, because like, man, I ain't gotta step on no eggshells. Like I don't want friends like that in my life no more. So if you rock with me, you rock with me. If you don't, man, just because we see different, why wouldn't that be a good thing? That's how I look at it. You know what I'm saying?
That's why I told AC a minute ago. I said, man, AC, you could keep going certain places. I said, bro, but sometimes you gotta save your sanity, man, because like me, that's why I don't go certain places no more. It's like, yeah, every once in a blue I'll do it, but like I don't, because they don't want you to have your own mind. If I can't have my own mind, if I can't be a free thinker, then I don't need to be around. If I can't be me, that's why I say I'm me. If you catch me offline, you see me in the grocery store, I'm the same old me. You see me, you know what I'm saying, getting my car, getting a tune up or something, same old me. I'm not, you know what I'm saying, I'm not gonna put on airs and all that, you know what I'm saying? So like, I'm not gonna dumb myself down or ignore or go along with the flow just to be part of the water cooler talk. I'm not gonna do it.
People not gonna like you, man. That's what I learned about the internet. Like if you speaking, like I ain't gonna lie, man. Just knowing AC for a couple years, I mean, even with you, Body, like when you telling the truth and you speaking your heart, like most people ain't gonna like that because they can't do it. They can't get on here and do that. And that's the thing that I realized, like, was holding me back. I was like, man, I'm trying to say something that people like. I'm trying to, you know, get views and all that. But man, at the end of the day, people like the shit that you saying that blow their mind. And it's not to say that you lose your integrity and your character. Don't ever do that. Speak your mind, speak your heart. And I'm not speaking at y'all like personally. I'm just saying for anybody. That's what I learned. Like your real squad gonna love you because of what you can do, not because what you can do for them. You know what I'm saying?
You was militant too, so you know that's like OG Cass.
Yeah,
we always
sure,
military.
man.
That's why, you know what I'm saying? Like as a real one, like real, cause it was some suckers in the military too, but like real ones. That's why we clumped together like that, cause like real recognize real. So it's
you was in the military?
Yeah, I was in the Army.
Ah, man, I was in the Navy, man. VF-31 time counters, man. I went 9/11, man. USS Carry out there for goddamn 10 months. We out there banging bomb Baghdad after 9/11, man. I know what you're saying.
Yeah, I was in there from 98 to 2005, man.
Yeah,
I went in at 17. I ain't even turned 18
Me too.
until December.
Me too. Hey, I was the youngest on my squadron, man. So you know, hey, by the time I realized what the hell I did, I was ready to get out.
Yep. By the time, look, I tried to go Delta Force early. Look, I tried to go Delta Force early, right? And they said I was too young. They doubled back, and I was like, nope, y'all done let me learn too much. Like, fuck, no, I don't want to do that shit now. I went air assault, and I wanted to go drill sergeant, but I got in some trouble. But I went over the career as an E5 promoter. I was getting ready to make my E6 and fucked up, bro. Got in some trouble in the career. And
I ain't gonna lie to you, man. I went F-14 squadron, man. The Top Gun F-14 jet, man. I was a plane captain with that. Worked on that. Yeah, I went in at 17 just like you, but when I went straight into to Iraqi freedom.
Yeah, Operation Iraqi Freedom.
You already know, man.
You
already know. Man, hey,
it was
thank you for your service, man. Bless it, bro.
They were saying Operation Iraqi Liberation. That's what it was, and we were saying, you know, that's when I.
Yeah. Hey, brothers of the sword, man. Salute to you, Body, for real, brothers of the sword. You got my loyalty right out with that, for sure.
Look at OG. OG said, "Wow, that's crazy. I was 17 straight." Yep. You know what I'm saying?
I was running from my daddy, man.
I had to tell my mom. My mom was saying, boy, what you trying to do? Because I was the first one around my way at 16 to get a car, right? And it was that summer. I had went and did everything I needed to do to go into the service besides needing her signature. And then I finally came to her right before Christmas and said, look,
come on, man.
Next year I'm going in. You know, she cried or whatever. I said, look, man, they're going to teach me a skill. You know, that I'm going to be a man. I'm going to blah, blah, blah. I'm going to do this and that. And then that summer. She like, boy, what you trying? I said, Mom, this is my last summer. I was like, I'm not. I said,
Yeah.
look, I got plans. I'm going in August the 14th. I'm gone. I said, I just want to enjoy my summer. I said, I ain't gonna do nothing crazy. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I was about. You know what I'm saying? I just, you know what I'm saying? Like, hey, Mom, just relax. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting ready to be, And then she's like, okay, I understand. Because I always had 2 jobs, played football. But
Come on, man.
right out of high school, bro, straight in.
Everybody. What's funny? My story. This is how I ended up going that motherfucker, man. Like, what's funny? Man, my daddy told me to take out the trash one day, man. I was like, man, I can't do this shit no more. So I remember I walked like 2 miles, bro. I walked 2 miles to the Navy center where they enroll you, And my uncle, I talked to my uncle like right before I went because I was playing basketball. So my uncle said, yeah, you go to the Navy, man, you play basketball. But I didn't know he was talking about the academy. I didn't know he was talking about the academy. So I went up to the regular little Navy office, man. Yo, I ended up in boot camp going to the VF-31 Tomcats in Virginia Beach, Virginia. I thought I was gonna play basketball. I remember my chief told me, "Nah, you put that basketball down. You ain't gonna be playing no basketball." Yo, my black ass was in there when we went to go burn Baghdad when they got Saddam Hussein, man. Yo, that's how I ended up in that, man.
That's wild.
But I ain't gonna lie to you, man. That was one of the best blindfolds I ever got in life, man. It taught me a lot about. It's still a lot of stuff that I learned in that I still use today.
Yeah,
you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, that. Hey, man, I don't know how. I wouldn't be even the trouble I got into. That's what built my character. Like that's what built my character. Like, cause I went from having like 5 soldiers to having to work for one of my soldiers after I got in trouble. Like you talking about character, you talking about extra duty. You know what I'm saying? Like all that, man. Like it's like I wouldn't have the character. That's why I was like, man, look, man, I don't care if it's one person. If one person subscribe, if one person can feel what I'm putting down, that's it for me. You know what I'm saying?
All we used to watch was boxing,
a whole bunch of fake ass motherfuckers that's here for the ride and the wave. Like, it taught me about character for real.
But me too, man. That's why, like with boxing, man, like that's all we used to do. And then we do like boxing lessons. You know, I wasn't no professional fighter, but man, I was just fighting. And then the thing is, they told me to come on into boxing, and they showed me the skills, the science of it, like learn, the discipline of it. Man, I ain't gonna lie, I wouldn't even got through my 5 years if it wasn't for boxing. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. That's with the fighters now. That's why I be wanting them. Like I always tell my son, if you want to be great at something, everything got to go right, even the wrong shit. And if you get the opportunity to where is that people looking at you for what you do and the craft you do, you better know it's 1,000, it's 1,000,000 people behind you that is greater than you, but just didn't get the right. They didn't get everything didn't go right.
Right.
So that's why I be at these fighters like this, because I respect them so much. Even athletes in NFL and football, like I love athletes, but you gotta know, man, if it's a 150 man roster, you know how many millions of people who wish things would have went right, and here you are being a diva. I don't like that shit. So that's why I come at them like that. Anyway,
well, I'm gonna say it like this. Go ahead, Bobby.
Oh, I'm gonna land right.
No, I'm done. I'm done.
This one of the biggest lessons to me. I went in the Air Assault school, right? And every morning we fought in formation. The very first formation, they said, look to your right and look to your left. They said more than likely the person that's standing to your right and your left won't be here tomorrow.
Facts.
And as I went through that short little, it was intense, because we were learning how to rappel out of helicopters and shit. So it was intense. But every morning I get up and look to my right and my left, and I'm like, oh, hey, how you doing? Hey, I'm Specialist Roger. Like meeting a new person, and that's how it is over here. And you know what I'm saying? In this shit right here, it's like look to your left and look to your right. The people that's around and here, they ain't gonna be here tomorrow. So you just keep, doing what you do. Keep being about the mission, man, and learn how to meet new people. You know what I'm saying? And persevere through.
It's like that. Go ahead, AC. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's well. For me, I'm going to say this. I was actually going to be a military man myself. I scored high enough to where I was just going in to be an engineer. So at the end of the day, I got into some real serious trouble to where Nassau County had this crazy trumped up charge for a fist fight. And it's like, how do you come to that conclusion or that case? And that's when Nassau County was extremely racist and stuff like that. So it blew my opportunity. But being that I was smart, I bounced back and I wind up getting a scholarship to Hofstra University and stuff like that. And, did my thing at Hofstra, but I wasn't an academic kid. You know what I'm saying? I'd love to use my smarts to build something or solve a problem, but to sit there and just be academic all day, I'm like, hell no, this shit is boring. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
cooking allowed me to do everything. I can be an artist. I can be myself. I can be academic. I can be creative. I can be problem solving. So for some people that talk about boxing and other things save their life, for most of us, chefs that really love what we do, cooking did the same exact thing. For many fighters who say, yeah, if it wasn't for boxing, or I got into boxing because I got into a little bit of trouble and there was jail and stuff like that. Sometimes that can happen with cooking. I needed a job, so my probation officer wouldn't violate me.
Yeah, it can.
You feel what I'm saying?
Cooking
and
saved
I
my
needed
life
the
now.
type of job that I needed the type of job that I can have throughout the terms that I would be on probation. And if I get a good enough job and do the right thing, then I can get off probation early. And that's the way I kind of looked at it, and then fell into it to the point where I just, said, listen, what do I have enough credits for right now? Oh, I got enough credits right now for associates. All right, I'll take this associates. I'm just not doing this shit no more. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going into debt like that, for an education that I may not be able to get a job in. And for me, I went to Hofstra for film and animation. But Spielberg and Lucas and all of those other companies were still looking at American graffiti as nothing but a street art, a fad. And it's like, are you not looking at Fab 5? Way over there in Paris, in the Louvre, got artwork of graffiti street writers from New York. Like, we're not going to do that. Yeah, I see it, but... And I was like, see, I'm not going to do this bullshit. So I left it and I got into cooking, and it solved so many problems for me. It opened doors for me. I got to meet real millionaires and real billionaires and stuff like that, who I didn't have to change. Like, they were like, wow, you just speak your opinion. I said, yeah, but I do have filters. But if it's something I'm strongly opinionated about, there are no filters, because I want you to understand that I'm standing 10 toes down on this. I'm grounded in this particular belief or ideology. And from there, I take that into boxing. And for me, for a fighter to tell me you did it from the mud, I'm gonna, I'm gonna look at some of the sacrifices I make and some of the sacrifices I'm willing to make. So if you're from the mud, and someone tells you, okay, we're gonna pay you $1.3 to $3 million to go ahead and fight a 2-division, former lineal, former undisputed champion, or 3-division, former lineal, former undisputed champion.
You cooking.
And, you're telling me, well, I need more money. Then you're not from the mud. Because the mud people look at it like this. We look at it as, if I beat you, that puts me in a position to dictate the terms. I become the A side to everybody because I just beat your ass. So when I look at it like that, you're telling me you're not willing to make that minor little setback. And to me, I still look at it like, when the fuck is $3 million not enough? That's $3 million, bruh. I get it. I'm not the guy who been fighting, who's got 60 fights and faced these whole string of world champions and stuff like that. Yeah, okay. You seen what I did. I'm a multi division, at least more than 5 times champion. But if I've only been there one time and I lost it because of me, then if you're going to pay me $3 million to go battle Renee Redzepi, I'm telling you, Renee, the food you're going to make is not going to stand with what I'm going to do, and it's going to be a lot more simpler. I'll fuck you over with a fried rice dish, bruh. So that's where I'm at with it. It's what sacrifices are you willing to make to get where you need to be? You know what I'm saying? So when I look at fighters, I look at fighters, and these fighters are not willing to make that stance. When I look at some of the fighters, to bring it full circle, when I look at some of the fighters that we're calling the dark horses, name me one of those guys we've been saying is a dark horse who would come out and tell you, all right, we're going to pay you $3 million to fight the guy who's a 3-division champion, former lineal champion, former undisputed champion. And you're going to let that fight go in the purse bid. No, they're not even going to let that fight go in the purse bid. They're just going to say, all right, you offered me 1.5. Could you do a little bit better? And then they come out and say, no, we'll do 3. Okay, you got a deal. Where do I sign that? I've already agreed. So listen, whatever terms you guys got, I don't really give a shit about that, because I'm about to beat the shit out of your guy. That's what Floyd said. That's what all the greats said when they faced that same situation, to where the terms weren't on their side. When I brought up the other day the pay discrepancy between Floyd Mayweather and Canelo Alvarez, when I brought up the pay disparity between Edgar Berlanga and Canelo Alvarez, people can say what they want to say about Edgar Berlanga, but he was like, look, I don't give a fuck about the money. If I beat this motherfucker, I'm him at 168. Because he was like, look, I could be undisputed if I beat Canelo. So you're going to pay me $1 million and some change to take a shot? Shit. I'm going to do that all day, 7 days a week, and twice on Sunday. And that just lets you know the nature of these guys who are doing what they're doing. And this is why a show like this is just that important, to spotlight the dark horses, the guys who would take your same deal, Keyshawn, and run with it to get the opportunity to get Devin Haney in the ring, because they believe in themselves. And it's not about the money. I know the money is going to come once I beat Devin Haney. And that's the disappointing parts of it. Shakur Stevenson, you're asking for a 2-fight deal. It's like, okay, do you want a rematch? Are you saying a rematch, or you just want a 2-fight deal? Be specific. And we never heard no specifics on that. It's just, they're offering me a one and done, and I don't know if I want to take it. Well, if you feel you that man, you the pound for pound king, a one and done is all I need. I don't need to come back and smash Shorty again if I know, my manhood is 12 and a half inches, 3 inches thick. I don't need to come back twice. Shorty gonna look at that and be like, oh my God, you built like that? Yeah, Shorty. Yeah. And that's it. That's it. There is no coming back unless she calls me to come back. And after that, I'm off the clock. It's general purpose. It's GP right now. You feel what I'm saying? So where people want to be at and where you want to land your plane is critical, because right now we're talking about the modern era And this is where I'm gonna land it right here, because this is something that is gonna make OG Kaz extremely happy, that we're, you know, you can look at it and then we can form somewhat of a modern day Black Murderers Row, where we got a whole list of great fighters, whether they're Black, whether they're Latin, whether they're half Black and Japanese, that deserve a shot, but the industry and the media will not give them that shot. You got the Hitman that was in Bodywork's second talking point, that will kill a fight on big stages. On big stages where we're watching other big fights happen, you're going to kill a potential big fight for no other reason but to protect your guy. So yeah, we're looking at the modern era of Black Murderers Row, because they're not going to face a Charles Conwell. They're not going to face a Polanco. They're not going to face, you know, these guys that we're talking about. And that's where I'll land it.
Yeah, to bring it to segue it home, and bring it home. Tito Mercado said as much. Now, is Tito Mercado going to get the benefit of the doubt now, because he was calling it all down the line, and we were reporting on it. He was saying, man, he said, I've been trying to say that, like, Keyshawn, he's not real. He's like, he don't really want to fight nobody. He's like, he hasn't fought nobody. He's like, who has he beat? He's like, yeah, he was a champion 35, but like, who did he beat? He was like, so the fact that he would turn down that amount of money is like, it shows that he's not real. Like, he don't really want to fight nobody. And I'm like, okay, yeah, point well taken. But he's been calling it. Like, when he stopped, I think that was Pedraza. Yeah, I think he got Pedraza because Pedraza was the thotty. You know, Tank ruined him. You know what I'm saying? But like, everybody was getting their claim to fame off of Pedraza. But when he stopped Pedraza, Shakur and Keyshawn was in there watching it. He called them B's to their face. They're like, man, these I bet you none of these BITCHs won't do it. And that's the same one at the same time when Keyshawn tried to give Andy Cruz that sideways handshake or whatever it was. You know what I'm saying? He was like, I bet you they won't. And they dismissed it like, he got to do something. But they know him from the amateurs. The other thing is, I hope everybody realized what I was saying, because the best truth is like right up under your nose. Like when they want to disguise a lie, right? They put it right up under your nose. And what's right up under your nose is that Shakur is like $1 million man now. Well, he been $1 million. He been making millions of dollars. But he got this big ass contract to fight for Zuffa. So money is not the thing. Why is it that he don't want to fight none of the guys that we want him to fight? Because it's not money. I was trying to say this before, like, the people used to make this argument about Buzz, like, man, he getting paid $10 million guaranteed. It don't care. It don't matter if he fight King Kong or Ned Flanders. It's like, okay, so why are we not leaning more toward? Why are we not putting the pressure for the King Kong?
That's too much like right. That's too
Think
much
about
like
it.
right.
You know what I'm saying? So if Shakur got this big old bag and he's taken care of financially, why is it all these obstacles between him and the real killers? Y'all gotta think about it. You know what I'm saying? Because money ain't a thing like Jay-Z and Jermaine Dupri. That's what I was trying to tell y'all. I'm like, no, because he don't really want to fight nobody. It's not about the money no more. It can't be about the money no more. I just want the big fight. But why you go over to Zuffa when everybody on the zone? You know what I'm saying? You don't want to fight nobody.
It's that Memph Bleak joint. Memph Bleak told everybody, you know, I got where Shorty used to braid my hair, and once I dropped to a Caesar, my don't need you.
No, yeah.
So
Bars.
that's kind of what
Bars.
Shakur did. He built everything he got off the top ranked diet, then you know, jumped off that, leaving all of that. All of those infinity stones right there, and the possibility of the Tank fight, the possibility of the Loma fight, and the Tio fight. All the fights that he wanted, all he had to do was re-sign to top rank, and he got him. You feel what I'm saying? Bob said so because Bob was coming out his face during that time and was like, look, man, the two guys I had ahead of Shakur was Teofimo Lopez and Lomachenko. Those two guys and Shakur Stevenson were the three guys I was trying desperately to make the Tank Davis fight with. But Loma and Tito went someplace else, as Bob said it, and all he had left was Shakur. So then when all he had left with Shakur was like, look, the Tank fight is great business for Top Rank, even though it is a cross promotion, because he is the bag. But it's still a great fight for Top Rank. So you leave that, then you go over to Eddie Hearn. Tell Eddie, fuck the Tank fight. The whole time you're over there with Eddie Hearn, I'm not thinking about Tank. I don't want to deal with Tank, because Eddie put you close proximity to Turkey. So the Shakur Stevenson said, okay, if I tell Eddie this is not going to happen and it's broadcast, then the Turk will not expect me to want to fight Tank Davis, although the Turk was originally trying to make the fight between Tank and Devin. And that's where we go to the two Lamborghini situation.
Yeah.
So Shakur came out and he got ahead of that, was like, look, y'all not going to do me like y'all did Dev. We're not even going to talk about this dude. So that's how he secured that deal. Then he jumps over to Zuffa to say, I'm going to make the biggest fights. The day he announces this, they ask him, well, what about a Tank fight? Sure, that fight can happen because it's still one of the biggest fights in boxing. But over there, you just said when you was even in close proximity, being active and everything, and the Turk would have put that bag up, you said X, Y, and Z. Now you're over here, Turk can still put the bag up, but now it's logistic legal issues that did not exist when you were on the zone. That's the biggest takeaway from all of this. You got to understand the business of boxing. And when these fuckboys out here try to tell you try to tell you and show the little picture of Roger Mayweather pointing and saying you don't know shit about boxing, you tell them niggas to flip that picture and point it directly at your ass, because you're not telling us the fucking truth. At the end of the day, he went over to Zuffa because it's legal issues that protect him from making a Tank fight.
Now, AC, now you know that's a segue, but I had to prove a point to Body because I be getting out early. Body say he gonna get out early. Anyway, it's all love because hey, Body my nigga. Hey, I stood on here because look, I ain't got to be no parent all the time. Okay, I got some leeway. But anyway, man, hey, I know this, man, hey, thank you, brother. I didn't mean to cut y'all, but I mean, thank you both of y'all, man, for just even letting me up here kicking it with y'all, man. I wanted to stay at the end of the show. Everybody like, share, subscribe. Make sure you hype them up. Come on, man. It's good boxing. I promise you, man. You ain't getting it like this everywhere. Both of y'all brothers, man. Love y'all, man, for real. See y'all next time until the re-up. You already know. Salute.
Appreciate you, man. Salute, brother. Thank you, man. To the next time.
For sure, Swallow. On to the next one, man. Tuck the little one in and stuff like that because it's already almost 11 o'clock. But at the end of the day, bro, I'm going to land it real quick. Great show, man. People, look at what's really going on. Don't feed into these salacious guys and give them, the time of day and build up their algorithm type of, channel, because they still want to talk about the salacious shit and not telling you anything substantial. They're telling you, yeah, well, it's this. And Shakur just, tweeted, ouch, yesterday. And Devin said, oh, you hurt your little boo-boo. And, oh, they going back and forth at it right now. And it's like, I don't care about that. Shakur, there's legal issues of why you can't fight Devin Haney and you can't fight Tank Davis, although you put everything down to that. And we got guys that we're talking about, dark horses that are in your weight class, guys that you can fight right now. You will not fight a Rayo Valenzuela because you're saying X, Y, and Z, and your fans are saying, well, don't nobody really want to see that fight. They'd rather see this fight and this fight. Okay, but those are big ass names, and they're going to be too many legal issues. That's why they haven't happened. And this is why Turk is not coming out and saying, I'll pay for this fight. If the fight is as big as what you say it is, and the Turk has stake in the zone, and everybody right now is signed up under the zone, Turk has stake in the zone, a small ass percentage, but money talk, bullshit walk. You got a stake over here in Zuffa. That means you got money in both these entities. Why isn't the Turk coming out to make these big so-called dream fights? Oh, this is the biggest fight in boxing. Oh, that's the biggest fight in boxing. Why isn't the Turk coming out making the Benavidez versus Obatiah fight? Why isn't the Turk coming out and tried to make the Devin Haney versus Keyshawn fight? Why didn't he try to make the Devin Haney versus Shakur fight? Because once that man signed over there, it's a done deal. You got too much logistical paper, legal bullshit to get through. And right now they're not willing to just compromise. And it's not the other fighters or the sanctioning bodies that need to compromise. It's actually Zuffa. Because they have the ability. You're all in one. The sanctioning bodies told you, if you want to, this is how you can work with us. They did it with the IBF. And then they doubled down with the WBO. And you dudes are still talking about, yeah, but Dev just tweeted and Shakur tweeted back and yeah, they're out of war. I don't give a fuck. It's meaningless. Because at the end of the day, what we always say on this channel, when you can't get the best opponent, you go for the best opponent with the best name. Shakur, you've been calling out Pitbull Cruz. You could fight the youngin. Give him an opportunity. And what I mean by give the youngin an opportunity, I'm talking about Tito Mercado. He's been calling out your name a lot. People will say, well, Tito might get whatever, but Tito got a mean streak that if he catch Shakur, he's going to finish Shakur. You won't talk about Andy Hirooka. You won't talk about Gary Russell. You won't talk about nobody at 140. You even forgot about Pitbull. So some of these just names I just mentioned are the guys we're talking about. You can say what you want about Gary Antoine Russell. Even though he has a belt, he's still a dark horse. Because he's got a loss. And y'all won't let him get past his loss. Yeah, but he got that loss and this person did that and then he did that and then, Gary Antoine went to the dressing room and changed his socks. So yeah, he don't deserve a fight with Shakur. He changed his socks. And you like, what? He's a fucking champion right now that just put on a magnificent performance against Hirooka. Yeah, but Hirooka's from Japan. And he's half black. So what does that mean? What? You don't know shit about boxing, and if you asking me that, well then, goddamn it, I don't know a fucking thing about boxing because I don't get it. These are just good fights. Yeah, but he ain't did nothing, and the last time he got paid, it was $3 and a Happy Meal ticket. So fucking what? If he could beat his ass, and he's the toughest guy out there, why not beat his $3 ass and make change? Why not? If you the baddest man. So that lets us know where we are. And this is why this type of show is extremely, extremely important to the boxing conversation. Because now it gives you something to think about and say, you know what? If I hold what these guys were saying, and even if I disagree, but if I just hold my favorite fighter to the standards that these guys are saying, because yeah, I may not have coming at my guy, but the standard is actually on point. I can't really disagree on the standard. But if I do that, then I'm going to shit on my guy. So I don't want to agree to your standard. I don't want to agree to nothing you're saying. Because if I do give you 1 inch, it detracts from my guy. And I don't want to look at him like that because I got too much respect for the fighter and what he's done in the ring. And it's like, so fucking what? I have a lot of respect for what Terrence Crawford did in the ring and what he's doing for Omaha. But does that mean I like the way he left boxing with that bullshit? No, no, uh-uh, no. And that's the part where I'm just gonna be like, look, man, you did your thing in the ring, but how you left this sport, I feel like you kicked me in the balls because I wanted to talk positive about you throughout the way and say, yeah, even when he left like yada 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 like a true champ, and now you trying to go on your media tour to fix that. I don't know how much it's gonna work. You know what I'm saying? I do like some of the commentary stuff you're doing, but even then, we can think of many fighters that we were like, all right, bro, if you're gonna stick around or at least give us a title defense with this guy or that guy, you didn't do that. You didn't do that. So your record for undisputed title defense is zero. I don't think you've ever given us one title defense of your undisputed statute. So for me, that's where I'll leave it. You got your flaws. You're not perfect. You're not the perfect guy to enter and lead boxing and stuff like that. And your legacy will be marred by little bro's actions. And I think that's the part you fucked up on because your legacy, Andre Ward's legacy, may not be marred by your actions because the relationship we saw early on between you and Ward. And people hold Ward as a high regard. You feel what I'm saying? Your shit might be under a little bit more scrutiny because how you keep talking about little bro and then you said the goofy shit that dudes just don't want to fight him. And everybody just looked at like, the fuck is he talking about? I could think of a dude at 130 that your man is running around here talking about. Stay your little 130 ass out, down there. God damn it. I wish Dev and Yoshino and some of those other guys, when you would, after you blew weight, talking about coming up to 35, I wish some of those guys would have told you the same thing. Stay your little ass down at 130. You ain't getting no respect up here. And I don't owe you a fucking thing because you can't even make weight. How would y'all have cooked Devin Haney if he said that shit about Shakur at 35? So, yeah, that's where I landed, bro.
Bars. Nothing but bars, man. You cook. I ain't want to interrupt you, but you cook, man, on your way out the door, man. I appreciate you. And your contribution is always, man. We always have a good time, man. It's always good, man. Like, you find a way to make boxing talk fun, man. And I always get my laughs, I get my jollies off. And I rejuvenate myself, man. Like, appreciate you, man. As always. Bro.
Yeah, for sure, bro. On to the next one, man. Right, salute man. To Swap.
All right, man. Peace. You got another good one in the books, man. Who's your dark horse, man? If you catch this on the playback, talk to me, holler at me, I'll talk back. Put your your dark horse in the playback. And thanks for staying the whole time, Cass. This one went way overdue. You know, we normally do 2 hours, but you know what I'm saying, we have a good show. I ain't gonna stop the music, but in the old days, you wasn't a true champ until you defended your title. Yeah, some of these things is just like, you know, it's just different. It's just times has changed. I was trying to tell my father-in-law, like, shit, it's coming up on 3 years ago. I was like, man, boxing has changed. Because he was saying this and that. And I said, man, boxing has changed, man. I understand what you're saying, but boxing has changed. And it baffles me. I'd be like, man, what? And, man, we just got to get along with the times and say something. Silence is consent. We got to speak to the things that need to be spoken to in the sport of boxing, because all it takes for evil to prevail is for us to remain silent. You know, we ain't got to harp on it and drag it out, but we at least got to be vocal about it, man, because closed mouths don't get fed. And right now, even though we don't want to get fed, we're getting fed a lot of BS, you know. This is a great episode, man. Think about some of the dark horses. I put out a couple names. I could have easily rearranged 2 of them. We had some great ones. OG Cass submitted some. Swat has some. AC said one that I was really thinking about, but I try to be mindful sometimes of the audience and make sure that I come across the way I need to without offending a particular fan base. Sometimes I just be like, man, ID gap, but I'm a fan of some of these guys. But think about some of your dark horses. Look at your favorite fighter. Is he moving the way he need to move to preserve the sport? Or is he pushing the sport back? Is he setting precedents for things that if the fighters of tomorrow do, it's going to leave boxing in shambles? It might change the way you get out here and support and be all vocal about the guys that you're talking about. You know what I'm saying? But I appreciate everybody who came through. Cam J came through. Crush came through. AC and Swat, OG Cash, his twin, Honeybee, Miss Joette came through. Salute. Cookie Monsters always came through. Melazar, he blessed us with some of his precious time in his season. You know what I'm saying? It's always a privilege and a pleasure, man, when y'all come through and mess with the 300. Hopefully you was able to put something in your rucksack and march on to your next boxing conversation. That's what our aim is, to give you something that you can talk about, make you think. We do try to get your critical mind to think. We say go where everybody know your name. They're always glad you came and they always sing your praise, and then come hear what me and AC got to say. But y'all know how it is, man. This was the Dark Horse episode. I ain't even get to the nutritional value. I had a whole snippet on the nutritional value. I ain't even get to it. Look at this. And maybe that's just something for another day. I ain't even put it up here, but I had a nutritional value aspect of it, man. Well, I'll get to it maybe on the next one. Maybe I'll do another Dark Horse episode, man. But I think I gotta do another episode of The Fuck Is a Duck, because that's gonna be another classic. But y'all know how I am, man. I can talk boxing all day and all night. Anyways, thanks for choosing Bodywork Boxing. But we don't take things for face value. We do that body work.
He didn't want to box. He wanted to actually prove that he could punch with you. He was like, what the fuck is this nigga doing? Oh, okay, you want to go to sleep. You tired.
Welcome to Bodywork.